Hello, everyone. It is finally time for some Dungeon World again. Our quick apologies for the slight delay that you've been having. We've been having some technical difficulties, and I believe that our Dungeon Masters had some culinary difficulties for a moment.
Noodles.
Noodles. Unfortunately, we are ready to get going. As you may have noticed, Hoothor, our usual amazing mod, also known as William, is not here for the time being. He can only be here in about an hour. So what we're doing is we're going to be doing a basic sort of introductory thing. Jex has mentioned that we need to do some setting up and a little bit of an overview, so we'll skip right into that. And then Hoothor will be joining us a little bit later. So I guess we first, welcome our DMLA, our player Hein, Tracy, and well, I can't hardly welcome myself, but welcome everyone, and I'm happy to get started. Alana, if you'd like to take the stage.
Yeah. I don't know where to start really. I think let's have a sort of short recap of what happened, because a lot happened last time. Those are awkward sounds.
Apparently, it squeaks when you move it.
Like you're making balloon animals below your desk.
It's like balloon animals
It's actually
uncorking.
my secret
What is it?
talent.
Alright, cool. Well, so yeah, last time we met. Sorry, I'm reading chat on the side as well. This is very distracting. Like last time we met with Baldric, Hazel, and our dear friend Polonius, who will join us shortly, as they were camping near the abandoned farm, or at the abandoned farm. After they have had an unsettling fight with some undead creatures who they subsequently burned in a farm. And as they were sort of recovering from their wounds and their woes, a knight in shining armor appeared, being Kess. No, Kaz. Cass is with an A, right? Cass. With an A. the paladin. Who surprised all of them because they are not that good at what they do.
I am very good at what I do, I'll have you know.
Anyway, short introductions were made, and a harrowing cry from a baby was heard from down a well. The heroes investigated, got into trouble, found some shadows who didn't like them at all. Killed said shadows in a heroic display of power from Cass.
I did no such thing.
Exactly.
At least partially.
And the baffling rescue of the baby, who was named Stormageddon, the Dark Lord of all. Which will definitely not bite you in the ass, naming him like that. But that's,
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine. I think you all went back up the well entrance, and Polonius sought guidance from his god Morn the Stoic.
Bravo, JeXus.
God damn it.
For new viewers, every now and then, JeXus' circuits fail, and we have to reboot him by just punching him slightly in the stomach. And once that's done, he sounds like this.
Right, okay, I think it works. So yeah, Polonius sought guidance from Morn. So what do we do? And Morn pointed the band of misfits to the town from whence they came. Or at least from whence Hazel and Polonius and Baldric came, from which they were sent away by the town elder, the magistrate, and maybe even all of the villages. We don't know. We'll talk about that shortly. So yeah, I think we decided last time that that you were going to travel to that town. So let's start there, but not before we discuss your current bonds. Exterminate. Right, I'll try. Yeah, so I think last session we finished a couple of bonds, or at least we completed them. And I think Baldric, did you complete one of your bonds?
Yes, I did so actually. One of my
Let's go
bonds.
over all of them. And in fact, I think that's more useful.
All right. In that case, I believe the bond I finished last time was that Thelonious Polonius does not trust me, and for good reason. And apparently by going down into the creepy well with all the shadows and managing to save a baby, I gained his trust that little bit. So that one's finished. The ones I have left now, let me put them on. I can put them on stream for me. Unfortunately, we're working on getting the other bonds on stream for you as well, the viewers, but unfortunately this is what we have right now. So my bonds right now are that Thelonious Polonius is often the butt of my jokes, that I am writing a ballad about the adventures of Hazel, which currently consists of not being in combat at all or anywhere near adventure. Bravo, JeXus!
Exterminate! Exterminate!
That works.
It does work.
And the last bond I have is from our new join. When we're in trouble, Cass will murder our way out of it. It is my firm belief.
Most likely, yes.
Likely, yes. All right, let's move over to Hazel. What are your bonds?
Yes, so I have one bond left from the original set, which is that Polonius knows incriminating details about me. What were the others? I mailed you them, but I forgot. One is that I want to see Stormageddon fostered with a nice family, so that he has a good start in life, and we get him off our hands as quickly as possible.
Clearly the main objective there. Getting him off that campus.
Get rid of the baby! Nice. And did you have a third one?
Yeah, I think I did, but I forgot. I mailed them to you, so you will.
Wait. You did. Let me,
Robo JeXus!
Delete! Delete!
You will be assimilated.
Let's have a look in my my mailbox. Let's see. This is old. Nope. Right, I'll have a look through them. It's fine. We'll look with it. Cass, for
Yes.
reference sake, what are your current bonds?
They are the same as last time because I had none of them resolved. Polonius has stood by me in battle and can be trusted completely. I respect the beliefs of Polonius, but hope they will someday see the true way. And Hazel is a brave soul, and I have much to learn from him.
Oh, alright.
Hold that thought.
Then toss it in the trash. Alright, so yes, I have a couple of questions for you guys. Because there are some things that don't have names. There are some people that don't have names. We need some information about this world, basically. And who better to ask than the people who live in that world? So far as gods go, we have Morn the Stoic and the Great Cthulhu, respectively the god of healing and restoration and the god of destruction, obviously. And as far as locations are concerned, we have this farmhouse, which doesn't really need to be named because it's a farmhouse. But we also have a town, which might feature your adventure, might feature in your adventures more prominently. And I think, Baldric, what was the town called?
Had we given it an actual name already?
No.
No, we didn't.
Hence my questions.
Good point. You actually gave me a reference map as well, which I forgot to load in, actually, I'm suddenly realizing. What is the town called? Let's give it an absolutely silly name like how about something Viking-esque, something like Tun, like Hampton upon Avon. I don't know.
All right.
Hampton
Sure, you
upon
don't want
Avon.
to choose something you can actually remember easier than that?
You could just call it Hampton.
Right.
Hamptoningshire. And then you just spell it differently. No, but Hampton, yes, and indeed, Vaynen, thanks for all the good input there. It's like, right, like I said off stream, it's like I might as well just tear this my preparation that I made, tear it in half. Yes, Cass, is this world we're living in, or well, you guys are living in, and I'm evil overlord. Is it? Does it consist of-
Robo JeXus. That look of misery says it all.
I love how delayed my video is for everyone as well. So I'm getting the face on.
You
Okay.
got slow mode.
should
So
be
late.
fixed now?
Yep, it's fixed.
All right. Does it consist of kingdoms? Is it just one major kingdom? What are your thoughts? Or is it like a republic?
Are you asking
Or
me?
yeah, I don't know.
I would think it would be more than one kingdom.
All right, and the kingdom we are currently in, what's it called?
Why do you ask me questions that I have to think about?
Welcome to Dungeon World.
That's not the name of the kingdom, by the way. Unless we're calling it Thunderdome.
Oh!
No, honey, no.
I mean, we can leave it up to chat, but I'm not sure if that's a good idea.
No, Vaynen will definitely choose something.
Country McCountry face or something like that.
Agamemnon.
Kingdom Town. We are not naming anything Agamemnon.
Oh.
Nope. Next cat we get, you can name it Agamemnon, and that's it.
You know what? We're calling the kingdom Agamemnon.
Oh,
That is
It's out of your
Fine.
hand. It's out of your hands.
fine.
Hazel, you were sent away
I'll
by
talk
the
to your wife
magistrate.
later about it,
That's
Emma.
fine. That's fine. She doesn't care. Trust me. You were cast out of Hampton upon Avon by the magistrate, whose name is.
Well, obviously, people will call him Judge. So, Judge something. We don't really have a naming convention for this world yet. So anything
goes.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Robo JeXus.
Okay, so it'll be Judge Thatcher.
Thatcher. Well, now we know why this place is such a mess.
Right, I like it. And is he or she? Is it a he or she?
It's a he.
All right. By the way, is Stormageddon male or female?
Let's see. Male or
We decided
female?
last time that Stormageddon was male.
Male.
Yeah,
All right.
I
Okay.
think
Okay.
that was established.
All right. Cool.
How about Judge Reinhold?
No. Just ban yourself. All right. Cool. So Hazel and Baldric, what is the real reason you were dismissed from town?
I think that Baldric was giving a performance in the local inn, and Hazel took advantage of the commotion to do some pickpocketing.
I think it might also have something to do with Judge Thatcher and his daughter, who may or may not have to wear a white dress anymore in her
Ooh,
wedding.
and what's her name?
Wow.
Look. She would be called Audrey.
Audrey Thatcher. All right. Nice. And oh yeah, no, we'll figure that out later. That's more fun. Let's see. I think, yeah. So, I imagined that this town, which is like, it's not small and it's not big either. It's like a couple hundred people live there. So it's got like the
Wow,
basic.
again
Robo
RoboJeXus.
Fucks.
I'm earning that PG rating.
Yeah, I'm
on this
sorry.
channel.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hmm.
I imagine that that there's about like a couple of hundred people who live there, so that you've got the basic facilities there. There's probably like a chapel or more chapels even. There's your standard stores. There's probably like a city watch or something like that. Where did I wrote this down somewhere? Now I can't find it anymore. Oh yeah, there we go.
All the
And-
preparation wasted.
Yeah, no, and I imagined that there was also that Hampton upon Avon was the place of a miracle of Morn. A miracle occurred there. And it might be a good idea to define what that miracle is.
JeXus, are you accepting that as the name of the inn? The
Lane
Lane
Buck? Oh, sure, absolutely, sure, why not? Yeah. Well, let me add it to my descriptors. That's fine. So, what we know of Morn is basically
Thank you,
all we know of Morn is what William has told us. But it might actually be more fun to find out what we know about Morn by people who actually don't know anything about Morn. So Hazel, what do you know about Morn? What was the miracle that occurred here?
I think it was something with a barrel of ale that never ran out of drink for 7 days and 7 nights.
Nice.
It's a Hanukkah miracle.
I like it. Okay, and I think also, if you have a good god like Morn, then there's probably also a terrible god, and I don't think it's Cthulhu, because that wouldn't fit, because that wouldn't make any sense for Cass and Polonius to be friends. So we need another god, like a really evil something. Or maybe not necessarily evil, but the opposite of Morn the Stoic.
So basically, his evil twin,
For instance, yes.
Rom the
Robo
Agitated.
Rom the Agitated.
Right. And he's Morn the Stoic is the
RoboJeXus.
balls.
So I like Rom the Agitated. Rom is a nitpicky god who always, comments on like, shouldn't be drinking right now. Oh, you should be standing on the right. Oh, you shouldn't have your, shopping cart diagonal on the lane while I'm trying to shop there.
So he's like arguing, the god of arguments.
Rom the easily irritable. Evil god, why not Zoidberg?
And what would his domain be? As Morn the Stoic's domain is healing and restoration. What would be the opposite of that, or the sort of counterpart to it? Destruction would be too easy, I think. And if what we know from Morn the Stoic is that everything can be solved by a pint of ale, then maybe it would be some sort of knowledge thing. It's like everything can be solved by reading books and gaining knowledge. Is that something
Everything can be solved if everybody would behave exactly like the priests of Rome say they should.
Okay, so let's just call it ethics for now, and we'll see if it if that changes.
The
Yeah,
god of ethics, I may have to
I was,
convert.
I was more thinking of a sort of a dictatorship.
Yeah. Strict adherence.
Yes.
Right. Go with that. I like it. So, what do priests of Rome do? What is it that they preach? Apart from you must adhere to what I say. I mean, do they tell people to walk downstairs all day long, or what do they do?
How about that they write long treatises of rules and mainly debate incredibly precise, nonsensical questions that are more like philosophical in nature than they're actually directly practical. But sort of
Right.
like there's like a small set of rules, and then there's a whole bunch of problems that come from those rules.
So, but are they concerned with sort of the debate of what's good and what's evil, or is that not relevant at all?
No, so if you make rules for everyday life, you will have exceptions on those rules. And so what happens? People should be calm and composed. But what if your house catches on fire? So they have rules for that. And of course, there are also exceptions to the exceptions. So I would think that the priests, and I'm guessing there are quite a few monks in monasteries of Rome, sort of codifying all these rules on how to live a proper life.
All right, cool.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. It's not about right or wrong. It's about what's proper.
Right. Yeah, I like that. I also like the idea of that they actually have monasteries where there's just a bunch of Romnian monks writing treatises on whether or not you should eat licorice and what you should do if you ate the wrong piece.
What if you use the forks, you use the cutlery from the outside in, but what if the
Exactly,
cutlery's in the wrong order? What do you do then?
Nice. I think Tracy's microphone is muted.
It is. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Give me 1 second. I can still hear you though.
All right. I think yeah. How did the townspeople of Hampton upon Avon react to Baldric and Hazel? Were you well liked or were you hated? What?
I think at first we were well liked.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah. And then you showed your true colors.
After the incident.
So, and how is
exactly.
it then that you were sort of let off the hook? I mean, I can imagine that in the kingdom of Agamemnon, thieves would not be dealt with as kindly as you were dealt with.
Is it maybe that Audrey, the daughter of the judge, took a particular liking to us and sort of, stuck up for us, which, communed our sentence into basic banishment?
So she sort of pressured her dad into letting you go and getting rid of Polonius in the process?
Yeah, why not?
Right.
That sounds good.
Did you just pull a Pocahontas? But I love him, Father.
Yeah, well, if it worked for Pocahontas, then why not for Audrey and Baldric, right?
Oh Lord, help us.
And then I think the main question, and Williams is gonna hate us for this: why was Polonius sent away?
I think because Judge Thatcher is a strict adherent of the of Rome.
Nice, yeah, yes. Yes.
I mean, that makes sense for a judge, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, Alas currently being a little bit like the weirdo, pervy photographer going, yes, do it, you're sexy, you're beautiful, come on, give me
Well, I
more.
mean, you're coming up with ideas that I had sort of planned, so that sounds good. No.
Bravo, JeXus.
Oh! Fiddlesticks! Alright, there we go. Yeah. Okay. Let's travel. I think we sort of have enough for now. The town of Hampton upon Avon is about a 3-day travel along a road that is not well traveled at all. So it's a perilous journey, so to speak, which comes in handy because then we get to make the Undertake a Perilous Journey special move that's in the Dungeon World book. Basically, let me read it out so people from the chat and you guys understand what's going on. When you travel through hostile territory, and you could argue, we got here, it wasn't hostile at all. Then again, you did find ghouls now and
Wow,
shadows.
Robo JeXus already. What? Seriously, what is going on there, buddy?
I have no idea. I haven't changed anything since the first session, and that worked well. Anyway, I think it would be a perilous journey now, considering that you've sort of found out what's hiding in the shadows and what could come at you from the fields. So when you undertake a perilous journey, when you travel through hostile territory, choose one member of the party to act as a trailblazer, one to scout ahead.
Yes.
I'm gonna vote for just over there, like.
And one to be the quartermaster. And the same character cannot have two jobs. If you do not have enough party members or choose not to assign a job, treat that job as if it had rolled a 6, which is bad. Each character with a job to do rolls plus wisdom. On a 10+, the quartermaster reduces the number of rations required by 1. On a 10+, the trailblazer reduces the amount of time it takes to reach your destination. On a 10+, the scout will spot any trouble quick enough to let you get the drop on it. On a 7 to 9, each role performs their job as expected. The normal number of rations are consumed. The journey takes about as long as you expected it to be. No one gets the drop on you, but you don't get the drop on them either. On a 6, you guys are screwed. Because I get to make
basic moves.
Yeah, it's on the second page. It's the special moves thing. Undertake a perilous journey.
Okay, yeah. On the 7 to 9, each roll is prone as expected, and so on. Yep.
So,
So,
I need
I have
a trailblazer. Yeah.
The question: if I were to volunteer as a scout, would I get a bonus for my shoot first move or ability?
What does that say?
Shoot first. So it's an advanced move for the thief class. Shoot first. You're never caught by surprise. When an enemy would get the drop on you, you get to act first instead.
I think that well, you can handle it in two ways. I could give you a +1 on the roll, which might be too strong, or when your scouting fails, i.e. you roll a 6 or lower, and someone or something or whatever gets the drop on you, you still get the drop on it first.
So I can shout out a warning to the rest.
Exactly, which would help the rest of the party to prepare for something incoming or whatever. So I would be willing to have you as a party as the PCs act first in any sort of like initiative thing.
Okay.
So yeah, I need a scout. So that's probably Hazel. And we need a quartermaster.
I guess that'll be me.
All right, and then we need a trailblazer.
I guess that's me.
All right, okay. Let's have the quartermaster roll first. So that's 2d6 plus your wisdom modifier.
Okay. Let me have a quick check. My wisdom modifier is +1. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get used to it to get dice stream open, so that is 2d6 that I can roll. Wow. Okay, did you see that?
Yeah.
Are you seeing this?
Yeah. So,
Excellent.
I know.
how
it's
many
skill.
rations are you carrying, guys? Together, all of you.
Good start. Good start. Let's see.
By the way, mark XP for this, Baldric.
Oh. Yay.
I have 5 rations.
5.
As
all
do
right.
I.
That's 10.
5 dungeon rations, yeah.
So that's 15. I think, Baldric, you managed to just lose half of it. So mark off 7 of those rations in total, which gives you 8.
Really.
That'll teach you.
A baby needs to be fed carefully, and you know he didn't like the first bite, so I had to throw that one away, and I kind of misplaced the second bite, so you know.
We're not allowed to feed our children.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, let me look something up because it's unclear to me how many rations you actually have. Okay, yeah, 5 uses. Yeah, okay, so that's 15 uses you had in total. So that'd be 8 uses that you have left now. So I imagine that, like, Baldric just forgot all his own stuff. So
Okay, so I have
get
0.
rid of those, and then get rid of 2 from.
Bravo, JeXus.
Does this work?
Nope.
Then mark off 2 from Hazel and 1 from Cass.
That gets us 8. Or did you?
Oh wait, then it's 1 each then. Oh yeah, you just forgot one of the bags. I mean, I think you were traveling and then at one point you started camping and you just forgot one of the bags, or you've misplaced it or whatever. So yeah, good start, guys. Let's have the where is it? Keep losing track of my sheets.
That's the scout and the
Let's have the
trailblazer.
let's have the trailblazer roll. So it's 2d6 plus your wisdom modifier.
Okay. And I have the dice stream up, but it's causing a lot of lag. Ooh, 8.
8. All right. Well, that's fine. The journey just takes you 3 days, as predicted, which means that you get to mark off a number of rations.
Wow.
Come on!
Use your other mic, maybe, or nah, that shouldn't even be it. But see, he's not reaching for a different mic. He's actually reaching for a black chicken, and he's going to sacrifice that to the devil in the hopes of making his headset work.
So this mic is terrible, I think.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
pretty okay.
Okay.
It works.
Let's try this. If it turns to robotic things again, then I'll just switch back to the one that's on my face. Too salty? No, it's fine. So yeah, it takes about 3 days, and I think the normal number of rations are consumed, which means that for 3 days you each have to mark off 1 ration per day, I think.
Somebody kind of needs to give me a ration, because apparently I kind of left something back at the farmhouse, maybe?
Okay, you'll get my last ration.
Thank you.
I have 4. You can have one of mine.
Okay.
So it's 1 per day, right? So that's 3 rations per person.
No, I think they gave me 2 rations, so I'm really hungry in the last
Really
day.
hungry, right? Okay, I think as a punishment for that, you might become weak. Which, if you look on your sheet on the strength, it says weak.
Mm-hmm.
-1. For any sort of strength-related checks you do, you get a -1 ongoing.
Which puts me at -2.
Yeah.
Nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
shouldn't have lost the Russians, I guess.
Do you think William would that
Actually,
Polonius would
Polonius
give
has
you?
rations. No, he does have rations. So let's.
Isn't Polonius just completely blacked out and we're basically carrying him around on a cart?
Yeah, so you can just grab in his bag and grab some of his rations.
Yeah.
Well,
Take
knowing Polonius, he'd probably give them to you anyway, right?
You're absolutely right.
Probably,
So,
probably.
Let me
yeah,
look up.
I'll
I think
just-
I think
I'll
he
take his
has.
stuff.
Let's see. He has 5 uses of dungeon rations. So so he needs to use 3 as well. So that means 2. So he has 1 left.
I'll
So
take that one.
Give 1 to you, and then he has 1 left. So we need to keep that in mind.
Are
Not
we
wicked.
forgetting about Armageddon? What is Stormageddon going to eat?
Well, I'm imagining that he can. Baby doesn't eat that much, so he can sort of eat from all your rations, like have bites from each of your stuff, right? That'd be fine. Let's not worry about that too much yet.
Yes.
Scout, why don't you look for trouble?
Don't look for trouble. Avoid trouble.
Oh no, you said look for trouble, so this is what you get.
Wow.
I'll just mark experience.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
So, can I just mark myself off as dead right now, or shall we go through the motions?
No, no, not yet. Let's see. You were traveling down the road, right? And there's just open fields. I think you were just traveling along the road, and Hazel, you were walking ahead, maybe sort of like to the side of the road in the sort of underbrush. So you're properly disguised, and as you're doing so, I think you just sort of your mind sort of starts wandering, and you sort of lose your lose track of what you're actually doing. So you start making a lot of noise, and twigs are breaking, and I think at one point you just you hear halt. Who's there? And I think you can see on the road there's 2 knights, or at least people in armor with long giant swords. The armor sort of looks battered. The swords look badly tended to. There's like rust on them, or something that resembles rust when it dries. They don't wear. They're not wearing any helmets. They have sort of like scruffy beards. They sort of look like this, right?
Oh my god, they look horrible.
It's horrible, right? I know. So yeah. Luckily, you shoot first, right? So what do you do? They look like they are going to rob you, and if you're lucky, not kill you.
Well, as a thief myself, I have a philosophical problem with being robbed myself. I'm the one who robs.
I am the one who robs.
How far in advance have I gone from the rest of the party?
Well, you tell me. What do you do as a scout?
I think it will probably be a few 100 meters. Say 300 or 400 meters.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the other 2 would probably when you are sort of interacting with them, the other 2 will see them, basically. Right?
Okay.
They know something's up. But you are at the brunt of it, basically. You will take the brunt of it.
Okay. The underbrush is probably not the best place for me to be, so I will jump on the road and book it back to the rest of the party.
All right. Okay. Cool.
As fast as my legs can carry me.
Okay.
And I'll shout ahead.
No, I like it. I'm paging through the book to see if I can find something that resembles. in a person that I need. Yeah, let's go for these guys. Well, that makes no sense. Let's go for these guys. I think, yeah, they give chase, right? I mean, they spotted something in the underbrush, something small, and like they don't know what it is, but it looks like it's got loot.
Look at that! Looks like
Looks like
it has loot.
the Dungeon World version of a Diablo 3 loot goblin. So yeah, what do you do when you meet the loot goblin? You charge after it with your swords raised, and I think this would be the time where you make a roll. So yeah, they give chase. What do you do?
Yeah, I try to get back to the rest of the party as fast as I can.
Okay.
I'd like to position Cass between them and me.
Really?
or Baldric, if you know.
Hold on! No! I'm behind Cass.
I think then this would be like a chase, right? Where you need to hold out against them. So let's have you defy danger by enduring. Make it a Constitution check.
Constitution check. Okay.
Like, see if you can hold on for 400 meters. See if you can do a sprint.
Yep. So roll 2d6. Add
Nice.
my con of +1.
Nice. That's a 10. All right. On the 10 plus, you set out. You do what you set out to. You run. Just you.
Oh no! We've lost the JeXus.
As you run from the underbrush onto the road and straight towards Baldric and Cass, and these two knights are sort of lumbering behind you in their heavy armor, trying to sort of swiping at you. You hear the sort of woof, woof of swords over your head, but you do make it. Cass and Baldric, you notice Hazel running towards you, probably screaming somewhat manly.
Oh, of course.
Manly, as he runs towards you, chased by these two scruffy-looking knights, who are swinging their swords at him vehemently. What do you do?
Well,
I would raise my sword and my shield.
Right. So you want to defend Hazel?
Yes. I would probably ask him what the problem is.
I think. Okay. Let's.
Isn't it clear to you what the problem is?
Let's switch to Baldric to see what he does when he sees Hazel being chased. Then we can resolve the other thing.
My clear instinct is dive behind the person with the heavy armor and the sword and shield. So I am diving behind Cass and fetal positioning up.
Okay. Wow.
Come on, Hazel. Why are you running? Turn and fight, man.
I wish Polonius were here, but he's still in a drunken stupor from his morning rituals. So he's probably lying on the cart or wherever he is. I think Cass, it's quite clear to you what it is that they want. These guys are basically highwaymen, right? They're trying to rob you and probably kill you, so that there's no one left to witness to what happened. So you have a couple of options, right? You can just start swinging away, hacking at them, and just killing them, or you can parley with them and see if you can persuade them to stop their heinous actions. Or you can roll a defend check, which basically means that you can defend a person, an item, or a location. And you make a roll, and depending on how well you roll, you have a number of options you can choose from, ranging from redirecting attacks to yourself, halving damage, giving an advantage to one of your allies by sort of blocking your enemy, or just damaging someone. So, yeah, it's up to you.
Suppose that I will defend.
Okay.
I mean, we do have Baldric hiding behind me. We have Polonius, I'm assuming some sort of cot that we're dragging. And we have a baby with us. And then Hazel is running from them. So I guess my only real option is to protect
Those who need protecting.
yes. Clearly everyone in our group.
So let's say that you are. I'd rule that as you are protecting or defending this location, right? Because there's too many people for you to defend as like
yes, I would
a person.
say location, yes.
Right. So you roll 2d6 plus your Constitution.
You broke up.
2d6 plus your Constitution.
2d6 plus Constitution. Oh, that was a terrible roll. What's my Constitution? I hope it's decent.
Hello? How much is yours?
I need to get this memorized. Sorry, my computer is really lagging. Constitution of... Ugh. I have a 7.
Alright, well that's good enough. On a 7.
It is a 7.
So how it works is on a 10 plus you have hold 3, which means you can spend 3 actions over the course of this sort of combat scene. On the 7 to 9 you hold 1, which means you can do 1 action whenever you sort of want to intervene. So long as you stand in defense, when you or the thing you defend is attacked, you may spend 1 hold to choose from redirecting an attack from the thing you defend to yourself, halving the attack's effect or damage, opening up the attacker to an ally, giving that ally +1 forward against the attacker, or dealing damage to the attacker equal to your level. So you can do just we'll continue the scene from now. Basically, at any point when something happens, when you say, "Oh no, that's not going to work," I want to spend my hold on doing this. You can just interrupt. So I think these two guys, they charge up, right? And they were definitely running behind Hazel, and I think Hazel, as you sort of dive behind Cass, they sort of charge past the paladin, or try to at least, and they want to attack you. What happens here? Does Cass intervene, or does Hazel do something?
I think Cass would intervene.
Okay.
She would step forward.
Okay. Yeah, they start attacking. What do you want to do?
I suppose I would engage.
All right. So you'd redirect the attack to yourself.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So in that case, you can. They basically, you sort of step up with your shield and your sword, and stand firm in front of Hazel. How would you like to deal with that attack?
There are
Do you
two
just
of
want
them.
to trade? Do you just want to trade blows with them? Do you want to get out of the sort of dodge out of the way and then slice back at them? Do you just want to stand there, take the brunt of it? What do you want to do?
They both have weapons, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, they are. They have swords, which are not that great, but they're quite long. They're basically similar to what you are carrying.
Well, they're pointed killing machines.
Yeah. No, but they're badly kept, so they're not that. They might break or something might happen to it.
Suppose I will start attacking both of them.
Alright, so let's make that defy danger by powering through, right? Sort of trading blows with them and stuff. So you roll 2d6 plus your strength, and depending on the outcome, you then roll an attack, basically.
Okay. 2d6 plus the strength is... Where's the page? Plus strength is a 12.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you just block stuff with your like block one attack with the shield, and then the other one with the you start swinging with the sword, and yeah, you just block their attacks, and as you sort of bash them away, they've opened themselves up to an attack. So you go ahead and roll an attack if you want.
Okay.
Which is basically the same roll as you did just now.
Yeah. That is an 8.
All right. On a 7 to 9, you deal your damage to the enemy, and the enemy makes an attack against you. So go ahead, roll the damage.
Your D10 is a 6.
All right, so that's 6 damage. I need paper. Preparation's key, right?
So pro.
You rolled a 6. Okay.
Oh, is that William?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm just about sending him the message.
Something like that.
He's not fully aware of what's going on.
Yeah. So yeah, you managed to hit one of them right square in the chest against the armor, and you notice him sort of stumbling forward, like he's been hit quite hard. But he's still standing. Basically, it's sort of like armor bashing right now. And the two of them they attack you. I need, what do I need? Dice stream. And now let me roll something like that. Get rid of this thing. Okay. Yeah. I need to pick the worst of the two. So that's yeah. You take 7 damage from this attack.
Whoa.
But don't forget you have armor, so you subtract the armor. 7 damage from this attack.
Whoa.
But don't forget you have armor, so you subtract the armor value from the damage.
Did we regain our health after the camp?
Oh yeah, let's assume that you all you're all healed.
Oh, that's a good thing to know.
Okay.
Yeah, that also means I am back at 19.
Yep.
Okay, so if I take away, you said minus my armor, so that is...
It's 3 in total, I think.
I was dealt how much damage?
7.
So I would have a 4 taken away.
Polonius, you wake up from your drunken stupor. You're lying on some sort of half-baked cart or like wooden thing that needs to be dragged over the floor, right? And you wake up because there's a halfling shouting, manly, followed by the womanish shrieks of a baldric curling up behind Cass as she sort of takes the brunt of the attack. So you open your eyes, and in a haze and sort of like headachy bright lights, you notice a paladin in shining armor fighting 2 raggedy looking knights. What do you do?
Okay, so I'll bolt upright, and maybe I knock my head into something as I'm doing so. I don't quite know where I am. I grasp my forehead. Oh, well, praising Morn. And I look around and I see this, and I go, oh good grief, 5 minutes and it's already gone to shit. At that point, I would like to assume that if these things are hostile, I will roll off the cart as best as possible. And I will assess the situation. Is anybody visibly hurt?
Cass would be injured slightly.
Slightly.
I think you notice the armor is sort of battered. You just noticed her being conked on the head probably by one of the swords, and the other sword just sort of slashed her on the shoulder. The armor took most of the force of it, but you can notice that it did hurt.
I'm currently at 18.
Okay. Well, okay. If I am able to, I would like to make my way towards Cass and use my Cure Light Wounds on her.
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
She'll do this. It's a 6, so no.
Yeah. 6 in total.
Mhm.
Mark XP.
Yep.
And yes. Let's see what can we do.
Oh,
to
no. That
now.
smile was not a good thing. He has given you the plague.
Done. What have you done?
I stumble off the
Fine
cart.
at 18 health.
I think, Polonius, you feel Morn, Morn's disapproving gaze as you cast your spell without the proper communion beforehand. You started the day without communing with your god. You horrible, horrible person.
Yeah.
You feel Morn basically abandoning you. You've lost the ability to cast the Cure Light Wounds.
No.
And on top of that, you have a -1 ongoing to spell casting.
Oh, no.
Oh.
But hey, you got XP, right?
Yay.
Hazel,
Yeah.
what's up?
I'm going to do what I do best, which is cheese from a distance.
Cheese.
Alright, so that would be a volley, I guess.
Exactly. I try to provide long-range artillery support for Cass.
Thank you, good sir.
That's a 11.
Alright, deal your damage. Yeah, you have a perfect shot.
Isn't it? Wait, isn't it for a volley on a 7 to 9? See, in 10 plus you have a clear shot. Oh yeah, never mind. I'm an
So
idiot.
that's a 4.
Okay, yeah. Who are you shooting at, by the way? 'Cause there's two. One
Either of
is
them.
in the- Either of them, right.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't
you
care.
choose. 'Cause,
Okay, so the one that hit Cass, that did actual damage.
well, both of them did. Basically, what happens in this sort of like a combat thing where there's multiple enemies of the same type, or when there's a group attacking, they sort of deal their damage together, right? It's just one
Okay,
distraction, the
yeah.
other one hits, and but one of them is damaged and the other one isn't. I think that's the main.
Okay,
the
so
main...
then the damaged one.
All right. Okay. Cool. This is not a pen. It is, but it doesn't work.
This isn't a pen, it's a penny.
Oh.
Oh.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
This is the
Oh,
That's no knife, that's a spoon.
Oh, I see you've played Knifey Spoony before.
Simpsons reference.
now I forgot what was happening. Right, yes.
You were giving me back my Cure Light Wounds.
No, never. You've lost that.
Boo boo.
That ability.
Feels bad.
I think, Baldric, you notice that there's a lot of heroic people around you, and you are curled up in a fetal position. What do you do?
Okay. I know what I'm gonna do.
By the way, where is Stormageddon?
I assumed I'd left her on the cart. Him. Look, they all look alike by now. Yeah, I'm jumping up behind Cass. I just sort of sucked myself a little bit. Okay, you can do this. Okay, come on, Cass. And I start going, rising up, out in the streets, and start singing the Eye of the Tiger, trying to boost Cass's groove there,
Right.
which is an arcane art. When I weave my performance into a basic spell, choose an ally and an effect. I don't know if I need to roll. Oh, wait, I do need to roll. Charisma, yep.
And I think you can choose 2 effects now, right? You
Yes,
just pick the.
I have the Eldritch art, indeed. The Eldritch tones. My arcane art is strong, allowing you to use 2 effects instead of 1.
Nice.
So I'm going to try and roll my charisma, which is +2. So that's 2d6 plus 2. Come on! That is 11.
Nice.
On a 10 plus, the ally gets the selected effect, which in this case will then be, I shall heal 1d8 damage on Cass and give plus 1d4 forward to damage.
Right. So roll the d8 for the heal.
Yep. That is 1d8 rolled, which is 4 hit points healed.
Nice. So I think Cass is now back up to max.
It's the eye of the tiger. It's a
And
thrill of the fight.
Cass,
Everyone
you
is breaking
feel
up for me. I have no idea what just happened.
Oh, stop singing! I've got a headache.
you feel reinvigorated by Baldric's arcane tones. Basically, you
Sure about that?
the welt that has been forming underneath your armor suddenly disappears. You feel stronger than ever. There's these two guys who are trying to attack you. They're trying to slash at you. What do you want to do?
I'm definitely attacking them.
Okay, so let's do the same thing, right? You defy danger by powering through. So you try to deflect their attacks by means of a strength roll, and then afterwards you can do an attack.
6. Ooh. That would be a 4.
That will be 1 XP for you.
Okay.
And I think, I think like the one you've hit and who's taken all the damage, right? He's gotten a bit more careful, and as he sort of faints, and you think this is my time. Now I can hit him. Now I can kill him. You move in, and as you sort of want to slash with a giant overhand slash, the second dude steps in and he sort of bashes the sword out of your arm. You see it sort of flying into the underbrush, and you think you know where it went. But there's these two guys, right? What do you do now?
I still have my shield, so I suppose I'll use...
Oh.
Robo Tracy.
Robo Tracy.
Yes!
No!
It's not me.
You are back again.
Am I back? Can you hear
Yep.
me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright. I said that I would ask Hazel to cover me while I use my shield. And then I would go and try to find my sword.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Hazel, you see Cass's sword flying into the underbrush, and notice that she's sort of holding up her shield to defend herself from attacks while she's trying to run off to get it. What do you do?
Am I quicker than Cass?
I think if you decide that if you see the sword flying and you immediately want to sort of chase after it, then yes, you are. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, yeah, I want to allow Cass to. So I'll shout to Cass, concentrate on defending, keep your shield up, and I'll dive into the underbrush to recover her sword.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let's have you roll a discern realities check for that. See if you can actually find the thing.
Let's hope so.
Please have a good roll. Please have a good roll.
Discern reality. That's
That's a wisdom check, I think.
wisdom. Okay, that's a plus 0.
Yeah, roll plus wisdom.
Okay.
So
you
then
didn't ask
7.
one question.
Where's
But
the
it's
sword?
fine. Yeah, exactly.
That's not a
That's
question
not
you
one of
can
the
ask,
questions.
though.
But that's not one of the questions, but it's fine because this is what you are actively rolling for. So
Yeah.
basically, you find the sword. It takes you a while, but right, as this is not a 10+, you don't find it instantly. So you're sort of scrambling through the underbrush. You have a general feel of where it went, and as you hear the bashing of the swords on Cass's shield and the shouts of the other party members, you finally find this gleaming sword sort of stuck in the sand, and you can grab it if you want to.
Grab it and take it back to Cass as fast as I can.
Okay. Is Tracy, can she still hear us?
I don't think so. Everything has frozen, so I'm assuming that she's literally frozen for us right now.
Okay.
I'm hoping
Right.
that a reconnect will fix that.
Yeah, we'll skip to Polonius.
Okay.
You've seen all this happening. It's sort of, for for you even in a sort of bigger haze than it would normally
Yeah.
go.
Um,
What do you want to do?
So I feel Morn's disapprovingness, weigh down upon me. I don't know. I think what I'll do is I will try to. Let's hang on. Let me look at my basic moves again. There's nothing in this game like readying an action, or like if I spend this turn, I get a bonus next turn. Is there nothing?
Depends on
like
what you want to do. Right? I mean,
But I basically wanted to focus, like really try and focus to make sure that the spell I use next definitely went off or had a better chance to. Like take a minute to sort of center, because I think I woke up and I was like, oh, things are in trouble. Let's quickly leap into action.
we could do that by rolling a defy danger intelligence check maybe, or mental fortitude. That's a roll of wisdom, right?
Mental fortitude is
Like,
wisdom.
mental fortitude would be a good idea, and then that I'd be willing to grant you like a +1 on your spell cast.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll sort of take a minute to center myself to channel the holy energies, and that's a 8.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. The GM will offer you a worse outcome, hard bargain, or ugly choice. Yeah, I'm going to give you the choice. As you sort of stand there behind Cass, right? You're quite close. You've noticed that one of the Raggedy Knights has noticed you. The other one's obviously busy with Cass, and she's not as big of a threat anymore. So he starts sort of lumbering towards you, right, with a sword in two hands, trying to slash at you. You've got two options. You can sort of keep on communing with Morn, basically, is what you're doing, right? Taking an attack to the face.
Yeah.
Or break off your attempts and get out of the way. For which you'd need to roll, obviously. But...
yeah. No, I'll stand there, and because I'm not much use to anybody if I can't cast my spells, so I will realize this and be like, nope, channeling. Face is screwed up and eyes closed, deep concentration.
Okay. Yeah, you take 6 damage from the attack.
Oof. Okay.
Basically, this knight really, it looks really silly probably to Baldric, as it walks up and he just slashes you across the chest with the sword, right? It's like it's nothing.
All right, can everyone hear me?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, got you.
Okay.
Baldric, you see this happening. What do you do? Right, the knights have sort of split off. One's engaged with Cass in a sort of struggle for positioning, and the other one's just lumbering over Polonius.
So Polonius has taken damage just now, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, he's been slashed across the chest. Do you have any armor, Polonius?
I do. I have chainmail, which mitigates it by 1.
Yeah. So basically, you take some like force damage, right? It doesn't penetrate the armor, but it's just a really massive blow to the chest.
Yeah.
I think what I'd try to do is, because the way I see it right now is that Polonius was here, and there's sort of this guy attacking him, so I can sort of like get behind the character, or at least sort of walk up and just stab him and then get out again.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's no danger there.
So that is definitely what I'd like to do, which is, I believe, a hack and slash attack, right?
Yeah, that's an attack. Yeah, you roll strength, which is at -2 for you.
-1, right? Because we stole.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, Polonius, you may notice you have a couple of fewer rations. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, Polonius, you currently have 1 ration left.
So I'm gonna roll 2d6.
So pro.
I'm marking XP while I completely fail to do anything.
Yeah. Let's have a look.
At least I get XP.
Mm-hmm.
Womp womp.
Where are my moves then?
Bop, 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 bop. Wow.
Yeah, I think what happens here is that you sort of, I think your attack connects, but you're just too weak to penetrate any armor. So it's like a little guy fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger, throwing a chair on his back, but, nothing really happens. The knight turns around and says, "Hello, little man," and he slashes at you. What do you do?
I think I tried to scramble out of the way, just like falling backwards, like ah!
Okay. Yeah, that's a defy danger dexterity check.
Okay, to find danger dexterity, which is at a 0 for me. So good. So we're gonna roll 2. Come on. I'll just mark a little bit of extra XP there.
You got it, man.
You're improving. You're improving.
It's
You're learning. You're learning
getting
from your
better.
mistakes.
It's getting
Yeah.
better.
You take 6 damage from this attack. I
Oh
think
god, I'm dying.
I think this guy kicks you, right? He kicks you in the chest. You fall onto the floor, and he sort of slashes his sword, and it slashes you right across the arm. Your left arm is sort of bleeding now, and badly damaged.
I just shout out, I'm too pretty to die.
Let's see. Hazel and Cass. I think let's move over to Hazel. What do you do? There's this frantic shouting. There's this female crying on the floor. Gee, how did you die?
Yeah, the first things first. I need to get the sword to Cass so she can murder anybody standing in her way. So I'll run straight for her and pass her the sword.
Okay, then Cass, you probably see this. You can try and grab the sword by doing a defy danger dexterity check, right? You're trying to sort of push the dude out of the way so you have enough time to quickly grab the sword and do something.
That is a 9.
Okay. Yeah, I think you grab the sword. Let's see. But I think you sort of lose your footing, or you're sort of unbalanced, and you as you are grabbing the sword, your shield hits Hazel square in the chest. I think Hazel just drops to the floor and is prone. Polonius, you've just taken massive damage by enduring.
Yep.
Thanks to the power of Morn. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I have apologised to Morn, and hopefully he has taken pity on a poor servant. And the one who attacked me and is now in the process of murderizing Baldric, I would like to use my Cause Fear spell.
Okay, what does that do?
Choose a target you can see and an object and a nearby object. The target is afraid of the object so long as they maintain the spell. Their reaction is up to them. Flee, panic, beg, fight. While the spell is ongoing, you take -1 to cast the spell. You cannot target entities with less than animal intelligence.
Alright.
Please tell me there's a fluffy bunny somewhere here. Stormageddon!
Cast your spell and state the object.
I shall do. And the roll is an 11. Awesome. That's even, yeah. And the object. Now you know what? Because he turned around and was like, he's like, "Hello, little man," and is now just going to murderize him. I'm gonna choose Baldric. So maybe he slashes at him once, comes back to see, and then Baldric starts. You've all seen Batman Begins, right? The bit at the end when Batman's when Batman's flying over and they're all like fear toxined out and they all look up and he looks like a scary bat demon, right? So he looks around and his Baldric's eyes are glowing, his mouth is like dripping with blood, like he sees just a demon standing before him right now.
Nice.
Oh, Cthulhu.
I think Yeah, the knight stumbles back in fear. He drops his sword and his shield instantly, and he just books it. He just runs away. Not back to town, the other way, right towards the farm, which is days away, but that direction.
Can I, if he's sort of like running away, when I realize that he's just running away, sort of get up and do one of those. Yeah, you better run. Yeah.
Of course you can. It's so useful. Cass, you have a sword and a shield again. You've just punched Hazel in the face, who's lying on the floor, and there's a knight standing right there, face to face with you.
I only have the one left to deal with.
Sorry?
I only have the one left to deal with.
Yeah, the other one ran away out of fear.
All right. I will attack. So it's a hack and slash.
Yeah.
That is an 11.
Okay, you deal damage.
That is an 8.
All right. Yeah, you. It is distracted by the awkward screams of his partner. The knight, he just sort of looks. Right as you're trying to slash him, he just looks away and he lowers his guard basically, and you just chop his head clean off. As his body just sags to the floor with this little spray of blood that just pools out. So yeah, congratulations guys, you managed to kill 2 raggedy people.
You'll never get ahead in business like that.
So yeah. What do you guys do, right?
Mm-hmm.
The danger's passed.
I want to.
now.
Yeah, I will look around, see everything that's everything lying in ruins. Yeah, sort of grab at my belt, sort of straighten my trousers, and go right. Who wants to start explaining?
I'm gonna walk up to the cart and sort of pick up Stormageddon and go, "Who's a good little baby? Get quiet." Yeah, there's dead people everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, someone
At least the young one is alive.
To be fair, we're all injured here, so maybe we should do something about that.
Yeah,
You can't heal like one.
I can't, no. I
I
have to commune. Well, I need to commune. Let's see, what does commune actually say? You spend an uninterrupted time, an hour or so, in quiet communing with your deity. So if we took a moment, and I could sort of channel. Yeah, alright then. Okay.
I can try and heal people by just partying around.
You drop a sick beat.
Pretty much, I'm gonna drop a beat. I'm gonna sing "Take Me On" in a falsetto tone, which I cannot do physically, but trust me, in game that is happening.
Maybe the rhythm of your of the song is helping me sort of.
The rhythm of the night.
Yeah, it's helping me keep pace with my my chanting and communing.
Oh.
Wow, Vaden is getting some glorious ideas here.
Yeah.
Stormageddon is forged in battle. By losing rations, how will the baby be fed?
And I guess at that point, if we can just be allowed to do that, then I would then like to start rolling some heals on people, if possible.
Absolutely. Let's. I mean, Baldric is healing already, right? Or...
Oh, if that's all.
Well, we can co-op heal.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
just do whatever and just do some rolls, and I'll remark on how badly you've rolled.
Okay, I'll need to roll a plus charisma, so let me get that up. That is 2d6 plus 2, which is amazingly 9.
I got a 7 on the dot.
Okay. So the 7 on the spellcasting for Polonius means you have to choose one of the 3 things, with the exception of the unwelcome attention, because the dangerous past, and the same counts. The same goes for Baldric, I think.
For me, a 7 to 9 says your spell still works, but you draw unwanted attention, or your magic reverberates to other targets, affecting them as well. GM's choice.
Well, then in that case, the magic reverberates to someone else. Healing them as well.
Nice.
And there's no point in making this more difficult.
Okay.
So the sounds of Baldric just going, "Take me on," just reverberates around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there, hand on talisman, and maybe my other hand's just clicking along to the beat. Yeah. So once all that's and everyone's good and healed, I'd like to approach Cass and say, "Who were these people? Do you know?"
I would reply with, I have no effing idea. I don't know who these people are. Suddenly Hazel was running towards me and waving his arms in the air like a crazy person.
Hazel, what did you see?
Well, I was scouting ahead, and I spotted these two ruffians, and they also spotted me, and they didn't seem to have good intentions. So I ran back to you, basically.
So common bandits, from the looks of things.
They didn't seem particularly common. They were wearing armor as though they were knights.
Who would have knowledge of these things? I sort of say, like looking around to everybody.
Why don't you just roll a spout lore, Polonius?
I could do this if you want me to. Let's see, spout lore. Int. Cool. My int is 2. I upgraded it last session.
Oh.
And that is 8 in total.
Okay.
No, 9,
Oh.
sorry.
It's 9. Yeah, that doesn't matter. I will tell you something interesting. Yeah, so you wanted to know about these knights, right?
I did, based on like their armor or their trappings, things like that.
Yeah, they are wearing insignias. And the insignia sort of looks like an inverted cross with a circle around it, and it's sort of like a green embroidery. They sort of have these cloaks, and on the cloak, like the clasp basically of the cloak, is a sort of green embroidered inverted cross with a circle around it.
Okay.
So are you saying an inverted cross, actual like an inverted Christian cross, like
Yeah,
a long
that
end
one's,
and
yeah,
a,
like the
okay. Yeah, crucifix, yeah.
yeah.
Well, they don't happen to have any like no notes, documents, anything. If I rifle through their pockets.
Well, why don't you discern realities for me?
Okie dokie. 7. Just middle of the road rolls today.
Yeah. You could ask one of the questions, one of the 6 listed on the sheet.
Okay, then I think I know which one. What here is useful or valuable to me?
Yeah. If you rifle through the pockets of the beheaded knight, you find some coin, like 5 or something, 5 coin, and there's a missive in his pocket, like a rolled up scroll. The seal has been broken, so it's obviously been read.
Yeah, I would like to do the same.
Yeah, it's a missive signed by the Reverend Margaret. So there's a very intricate sort of signature, and there's a stamp even on it. It looks very official. The stamp is also again this inverted crucifix with the circle around it, and basically it's a sort of like a list of rules, right? That knights of this. Well, not Rob. No, we need another name for this, but that they need to adhere to. But it's all very zealous, right? There's this idea that all these knights must... Just a second, because something happened. Be right back.
Okay.
All right. That's some off-screen entertainment for a second then. Actually, we've been up for an hour and a half. It might be a good idea to just take a quick break.
Let's do that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and take a 10-minute break. And we'll be back after when JeXus is returned as well. So I will see you in 10 or so minutes. Okay, we are back after that quick little break. We are clear of stress and worry, and these cups are filled with tea or whatever else anyone else has picked up. And we're ready to get going again. So, as soon as you are ready.
Yeah, definitely. We were studying a missive. I was in the pockets of one of these raggedy knights, which we can refer to now as maybe a knight of Reverend Margaret. But most appropriately, they adhere to a different god. A god of goodness, a god of salvation. And Polonius, what would be the name of this god?
Well, if you're letting me name it, then if we have Morn the Stoic, then why don't we have the god of good being Cisco?
Really? Cisco?
We have Cthulhu in this game. I think Cisco is acceptable.
Well, you know what? Cthulhu is public domain, and this is Cisco, completely unconnected to any other relevant possible popular reference
So
at
it's
all.
SYSQO, right?
Of course.
Yes, Cisco.
Okay. So that would be the god of salvation. Yeah, these knights, they are ordered to follow a specific set of rules, well, all related to a specific prophecy.
Oh.
Yeah, I know this prophecy. It has something to do with a wormhole.
No. There's only slight mentioning of this prophecy. It's not entirely clear what it's about, but it's about a savior that has come to the kingdom of Agamemnon.
Emissary.
A savior who, apparently, according to the Reverend Margaret, has been sent to save us all.
I'm sorry, that is amazing. The Grand Leader, the Sisquatch. I love it. That has to be canon.
Wow.
Wow. But yeah, so apparently there's a savior in the kingdom of Agamemnon, a savior for good.
And what would it save the kingdom from?
Everything.
Everything.
This is a very zealous document. Like everything that you would consider being okay, right? Doing stuff that's sort of on the grey areas of what's proper and what's not. That's an absolute no-no. That's bad. That's evil. That needs to be vanquished.
As a paladin of Cthulhu, I am immediately suspicious and distrustful.
Yeah. So yeah, I probably after reading this, I'd be like, "Good morn. These were knights of Cisco."
Sorry, I'm not going to be able to not laugh at that.
I'm sorry, but what's next? The Venerable Knights of Garrick?
Yes. I'm going to steadily turn this into Deep Space Nine if it kills me.
This the names used have no relationship to Deep Space Nine. We disavow any connection to any person living or dead. Thank you.
Love you, Gene Roddenberry. Yeah, and I'll read this and I'll be like, but yet these seemed like no more than common bandits. This is not right. This Reverend Margaret, is she in Hampton?
Is Robot William?
Am I okay?
No, not for me.
No. Hello.
That's my headset. Never mind.
Test 1 2 3. Good.
You are fine.
Okay. Am I good for you,
Hello?
JeXus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Human slaves.
Yeah.
Robot
Yeah.
nation.
And JeXus is slowly grumbling.
Yeah, he.
Hello?
Hello?
I don't think it's his connection, but his sanity. JeXus, hello. Housekeeping. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Thing
Senor
is not
JeXus?
working.
We can hear you, Jack.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, let's use the chat. We can hear you, JeXus. He is frozen. No, he's just really still. Hello. Housekeeping. Hello, senor. No audio. No.
Hello?
Test,
Hello?
test. Hello, hello.
No.
Wow. Okay. So
What was it you
pro.
were saying? William, about
this
it
is-
would be a Byronic stream if there weren't audio issues.
It's the power wraiths. They're taking down the stream.
See, for some reason, his camera is now in black and white for me too. Ah, so professional. This is what really draws in the Byronic viewers.
It really is. Well, I mean, audio issues. It's kind of a staple at this point.
It's true.
Look,
Happens every time.
I just gathered a group of viewers that are all tech support individuals.
Yep.
I'm gonna reconnect the call because I don't hear any audio from you guys at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, quickly, somebody tell some jokes. Entertainment. Ah.
There once was a man from Nantucket. I can't finish the rest of it because your stream is in R.
Doo-dum. I guess.
Haha!
Oh. That would be an interesting just limerick. There once was a man from Nantucket whose bleep was so long he could bleep it.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Alright.
Okay, you
I'm
good?
not sure.
Senor, hello?
I'm not sure what happened there. All the audio just stopped playing for some reason.
Okay.
The Trollolo song.
Sorry about that, guys. So I completely lost track of what we were discussing. Sorry.
I was just remarking that these knights, they seemed like nothing more than common bandits, yet they are carrying a missive. And I asked you if this Reverend Margaret, is she in Hampton?
Why don't you roll a spout law for that?
Cool. 3.
A 3. No. You
I have no idea.
you have no idea, but you can mark XP.
I can do this. Okay. Well, seeing as Cass is also knowledgeable about the gods,
Am I? Okay.
well, I imagine you'd have at least some knowledge, being a paladin.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, what do you think we should do? This is clearly a matter for people of the cloth such as us. If these truly were renegade knights, we simply cannot let them wander around, attacking travelers at will.
You want to go after the one who ran, don't you?
Well, might be a good start.
Yes, Thelonious. Why do you always get at me in these situations?
I look at you and I'm like, oh, come on, you love it. Isn't that one of Cthulhu's tenets? Slaughter everything within a 10-mile radius?
Look now, personal combat is a totally different thing than me running around the countryside with a bunch of people who clearly can't fight and having to constantly defend them.
I'm looking up for me, basically with the ukulele, trying to work out how to play Freebird, going, huh? Hey!
So useful.
Right. Well, at this point, there are two parts. One, in pursuit of the one who ran, and the other, where we were already going, it seems, back to town. Perhaps we could get more answers in town, and if we discover this to be something larger, rather than just an isolated incident, then we might be able to come back. I don't hold you to anything, but...
I suggest that we go into town, Thelonious, because not only do we need more information, but we also need rations.
This is a good point.
Yeah, and we need to set Stormageddon, have him fostered somewhere or something.
Ah, fear not. The Temple of Morn shall take care of him.
Hold on. Why are we giving him to the Temple of Morn? He should be raised like any normal young child, in a brothel.
This speaks volumes to you, Baldric.
It's the brothel called Baldric.
What is the brothel called? Ye old slap and tickle.
Right.
Fantastic. It's called Quarks.
No.
It's
You know what?
not called.
Could we call it quirks?
No.
Oh, yes! No,
Robo JeXus.
I didn't hear JeXus say no, so I officially motioned for it to be called Quirks.
No. I like slap and tickle because it'll be run by Fraulein Slap and Tickle.
Fair enough.
I like slap and tickle as well.
Actually, just this stereotypical like Bavarian woman going, "Es ist Fraulein Schlappentickle." Yes, Mr. Slappentickle.
Yeah, maybe I sort of look at you as you suggest the broth, and I go, "We're giving him to the Temple of Morn."
Wait. What is the Temple of Cthulhu?
Forgive me, Cass, but I'm not sure if Hampton has a Temple of Cthulhu.
Cass, does Hampton upon Avon have a Temple of Cthulhu?
It does indeed. It's a small temple. It's growing.
Yeah, it does have a Temple of Cthulhu, no problem at all.
It's probably like down in the basement of some kind of weird bookshop, isn't it?
Hey. We were there before it was popular.
Cthulhu worship as a real hipster.
Yes. Well, at the very least, we need to get to Hampton. So perhaps we simply set off, and we can be the doting parents and go and visit all the schools before we decide.
Yes, that has to be a session. That just has to be a session where we just go, and what's your after school program like?
But doesn't Hampton doesn't Hampton have an orphanage?
Oh no, we can't leave him at an orphanage.
No, but I was thinking we have this large treasure to after deducting a finder's fee to give to whoever is going to raise him. If we leave him at an orphanage and give them the treasure, then lots of children will benefit from Stormageddon being in their midst.
Okay, firstly, hold up. I still require an answer as to what the thief considers an appropriate finder's fee from this treasure.
Okay, so I was thinking of one of these gold goblets per person, filled up with coins, gold coins.
If we did that, how much would be left? Like, proportion-wise. Could we tell?
Yeah, you could tell. Like, that'd be about half. I mean, treasure is yours, right? I mean, there was no one there. It was abandoned. It was hidden away in a cave, inhabited by shadows.
My only concern, and I'll probably...
There's also this amulet thing, right?
Yeah. I'd probably say, well, I think we should keep the amulet, at least for now, because we don't quite know what that is. But concerning the rest of it, forgive me, Hazel, but if you do recall, you were kicked out of Hampton for attempting to acquire material wealth. If you return to Hampton claiming that you have found it, I don't know whether or not you'll be let back in. Especially considering I was tasked with keeping you out of trouble.
Well, and a good job of it you did.
That's besides the point. At the very least, let's get to the town gates, and whatever comes will come.
Tracy, just you're kind of quiet. You may need to get the mic in and out.
Is that better?
Not yet.
Okay, hang on, let me reset it.
Actually, Vaden has a point. Just donate to gold to the temple, hire someone to raise a child, buy a house, screw the orphans. Ha!
Don't screw orphans, that's frowned upon, Vaden.
Oh, snap.
Snap and tickle.
The slap and tickle. It's still kind of 1920s.
But I like film noir.
No, if you want to travel to town, then that's you are free to do so. You've made the perilous journey, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to, then we can continue the scene there.
Sure, let's go to town at least.
Yep, that sounds like the idea.
So let's set the scene a bit, right? As you approach from the road, there's this town. It's like there's some outskirts, like some houses. Some people are working fields and maybe doing some laundry and hanging up clothes and stuff like that. It's not super clean. It's also not really dirty. It's like a mediocre town, right? Sort of like your average. Well, compared to what's that village called in Lord of the Rings? Is it called Bree or something?
Bree.
Yeah.
Bree, yep.
Sort of like that, right? That sort of same. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing then. Let me see. I, as a bard, have a port in the storm ability. When you return to a civilized settlement you visited before, tell the GM when you were last here. Well, we know that. That was a couple of days ago. And they'll tell you how it's changed since then.
Yeah. Okay, so as you... I'll tell you in a minute. But sort of like, there's this sort of wooden palisade, and there's a gate, and it's just open to people. You can just walk in. And you immediately see, Baldric, that where once the Chapel of Morn stood, there is now just cinders and rubble. It's been
Nice.
torn down completely.
Would I imagine I see this? Yes.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Okay. The moment I see this, I go, "Praise Morn!" and I rush towards the site. Like I am running, pushing past whoever I can. If there's a crowd, I'm barging through.
Yeah, no, it's obvious that this has happened like a couple of days ago, right? It would be fair to assume that the moment you were cast out of the village, Polonius, or sent out on your quest, as they told you that's what it was, they probably tore it down.
Okay. So I'm standing basically before this mound of like rubble. And
Yeah.
is there like and people are just going past this like it's nothing, yeah?
Yeah, it
Like it's
happened.
just a thing.
It's been done.
Okay. And there's no guards or anything around?
No, well, that's the thing about Hampton von Haven. It's there's a city watch, but it's not. Basically, what that means is that there's a couple of guards people walking around town, but not right here. And most of the defenses for Hampton von Haven come from the militia, which is just called upon in times of danger, right? So no, not really. I mean, there's some bustling activity. Basically, people just going and talking to each other and walking back and forth to their specific chores. Let's see. There is a thing that we need to do before we continue, which has to do with the fact that you are now in a town, and we need to check if there are any outstanding warrants for you guys. So when you return to the civilized place in which you've caused trouble before, Hazel, Baldric, you roll plus your charisma. On a hit, word is spread of your deeds and everyone recognizes you. On a 7 to 9, that, and the GM chooses a complication. On a 6, I get to decide.
Right, plus charisma.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a +0 for me. So I get a 7 total.
Cat, this is not the time. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna try and I need to roll as well.
Yeah.
So 2d6 plus charisma, right?
Never mind, you already have a 12. So
Okay.
basically, what happens, right, as Polonius charges to the chapel, and I imagine you follow him sort of there, is that people start looking like as they pass Baldric and Hazel, they start looking back, and Baldric is greeted, right? People are quite friendly to Baldric, but they do recognize him. Everyone knows who Baldric is. Most of the people also know who Hazel is, and they are not greeting you, Hazel.
Okay.
They, it's obvious that there's something wrong, and you don't really know what yet. But it's obvious to you that these people are not friendly to you, so to speak.
Can I discern reality?
Yeah, go ahead.
So that's plus wisdom?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a +0, so this is 6.
Yeah, mark XP.
Yeah.
I think basically, there's a woman who walks up to you, right, and she just slaps you right in the face, across the face. She's like, "Traitor," and then she walks off.
Okay.
And
One
I think
thing for me, though, since I'm a human bard, when I first enter civilized settlements, someone who respects the custom of hospitality to minstrels will take you in as their guest. So, is there at least one person positive towards us?
Well, positive towards you, yes. I mean, there's a whole host of women who look at you and sort of invite you to stay the night. Basically, there's so
Hospitality.
Hospitality. Polonius, why don't you discern realities?
Very well. 12.
Oh, great! Now you get to ask me 3 questions.
Okie dokie. Let me get back to the first page. See, now, if I asked you what happened here recently, I already, it's quite obvious it's burnt down, but would you tell me? Yeah.
I can definitely inform you some more stuff. So it's apparent that probably like a day after you left, this has been torn down, and there's like sort of like poles hammered into the ground, and they contain the symbol of Rom.
Okay.
And which is, I think the symbol of Rom is like an eye with a small tear sort of hanging off the edge.
Okay. Before I ask you the other questions, as a side note, you mentioned that the miracle of Morn that happened in this town, the ever-flowing barrel, was you say it flowed? What was it, for 7 days and 7 nights?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so when it stopped, what became of the barrel?
I don't know.
Could I decide that? Okay.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that the barrel was kept as a holy relic in maybe like a cellar or something. I imagine it's a temple of Morn, right? There would be like a wine cellar for special ales and such. But I'd imagine there'd be like a special like thing just for this one barrel. Maybe it's on like a plinth or a dais.
Yeah.
So that being the case, my second question here would be, what here is useful or valuable to me, angling to see if whether or not that is this thing.
Yeah, I think if you sort of look through the rubble, and I imagine that your party members are sort of looking through the rubble with you, or I don't know, what are you guys doing when you see that it's been torn down and it has definitely affected Polonius in some way?
I will stick close to Polonius.
I think I have little respect for his faith anyway. So I'm just gonna go with an awkward sort of, slap on the shoulder like, well, that sucks. In any case, should we just, just...
I respect Polonius as a friend and a fellow lawyer, so I will try to aid him in looking through the rubble. But I'm not upset that the room was burned down. Just that it's
Wow.
You're cutting out.
Yeah, like your sound is going like we can hear you normally for a bit, and then it'll go really quiet.
Can you try and maybe hold the mic a little bit closer, or?
no.
No, it's something to do with the connection, I think.
I think it might just be the microphone itself. Could you just repeat what you said?
From what I gathered, she'll help you look through the rubble, but not as intently as you.
Unfortunately not.
No. Okay. Well, fair enough.
But
Yeah.
let's see if there's something useful or valuable to you, Polonius. I think you both you and Cass sort of shift through the rubble and sort of shift some like rocks and wood, like wooden beams, and looking for that cellar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's still there. It's just no, it's still the same. There's no difference, Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the cellar is still there. It hasn't been collapsed. It hasn't, as far as you can see, because you've not entered it yet. Hasn't been touched.
Okay. Let me see.
So, as in terms of what is useful or valuable to me, there might still be some stuff downstairs.
Yeah.
You want me to go in and sniff it out?
Well, I've still got one more question for my discern realities. Well, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted to know. So I'll use my last one to say what here is not what it appears to be, just in case.
So, it looks like it's just some sort of spiteful destruction, right? Like a sort of like a rivalry.
Yeah.
But the destruction is particularly nasty. I mean, there's always been some rivalry between followers of Rom and followers of Morn, and there's been some scuffles and some battles, and but this is really, really brutal. This hasn't been seen before.
Blatant.
Yeah, it's blatant, and as far as you've known, and as far as you've heard, this has never, ever happened. This is a first.
Fair enough. All right. Well, in that case, I mean, probably as you say, that to me, Hazel, offering to go scout it out, I say, thank you, friend, but maybe, I then sniffle a little bit, choke up a bit, and I'm like, this is something that I have to do myself, and I like to open the hatch and try and descend into the cellar if I can.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's dark down there. You can't really see much.
Okay.
Is it dungeon-like?
No. This is
this
a chapel of Morn, right? It probably used to be a very beautiful chapel. A lot of adornments, and I imagine that they would have treated the cellar even better than they would have treated the main building, the main room itself, because this is where the holy beverages basically
pretty much, yeah,
were stored.
All right. Well, I'd like to, I'll cast light with my talisman.
Right, go ahead.
Oh yes, the one you forgot you could do for so long in the other session.
Yeah.
By the way, Baldric, what happened to Stormageddon?
Good point.
I'm assuming, what we were doing right now is getting into town, so I'm assuming I'm just holding Stormageddon,
right.
And that's why we're sort of walking here, and I'm like with a baby in my hand, just,
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe that's why a lot of the women are coming up. It's like, oh, he's such a cute baby.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's good to keep track of where he is.
Okay. Yeah, 10 I got.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you cast light.
Okay.
The cellar looks undisturbed.
I'll let out a deep sigh, like, oh, praise be. And I'll immediately try and work my way towards where the dais that has the sacred barrel would have been.
It's
Or,
it's
well,
it's still
hope
there.
this is- Yeah, okay. At the moment maybe I round a corner and I see it sitting there on like a plinth, I'll drop to my knees, on all fours and start muttering to myself, praying to Morn. I don't know if anybody else is like, down here with me, but
I'll stick with Polonius.
okay, yeah. So you see me. I'm hurriedly like searching, looking down like this. There's columns and columns of like wine and barrels of ale and such, and I'm looking for something specific. And you come around and there's this stone plinth with a barrel that looks like it's been, what's the word? Like cracked open? There's a special word for that. Anyway, whatever.
For a barrel being cracked open, you mean?
Yeah, like if it's a barrel of like alcohol and then it's tapped. That's the one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been tapped and it's it looks like it's been drained. Maybe it's a little bit old. Maybe it's a little bit rusty around the iron rings. But the moment I see that, I rush towards it and immediately collapse onto my all fours, and you hear me muttering to myself.
I'm just making notes for items because I forgot some. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if anybody's not going to do anything else.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that I mean, this is basically a burnt-out, still smoldering temple, right? I'm not too sure whether we're gonna pull a baby into this down there.
Probably not an amazing idea.
Right.
Well, I mean, if in that case, I'll, maybe once I've finished muttering, the Morn equivalent of the Lord's Prayer, the sort of the quintessential be-all and end-all of prayers, I'll sit back up, maybe wipe a tear from my eye and go... And I look back to Hazel and I say, we must seal this place permanently.
Okay. So you wanna keep everything intact, but just make
I
sure
do.
that,
I want to basically make it so that if I can somehow destroy the entrance to this place without harming its contents and just bury it,
Okay.
so that it'll always be there, but no one can get at it without having to like dig for it.
I think you could do that. It'll take some time, right?
Well, if that's the case, and I would do whatever.
I'll assist.
Okay,
just a second, guys, 'cause,
Fair enough.
I think in general, I'll
Hello?
sort of let you.
Hello.
Hi. I
Am
think
I
I'll sort
back?
of-
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Yep, that's fine
much
now.
better.
Okay.
Okay, good.
So I think I'll just hang back mostly, but I'll sort of stick with you, as in I'll let you explore the room first, and then I'll come in with the baby as well.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if there's any specific moves that might be appropriate here, but I think this is just one of those cases where you can just do what you set out to do. It'll just take time, right? Maybe maybe Hazel, you are working with Polonius on this?
Yeah,
Okay. Then
as well as I can.
Yeah.
could you do a Defy Danger Charisma check for me, please?
Charisma.
Both of us or just Hazel?
No, Hazel.
Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Wow, nice.
Alright, good. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, basically people don't notice that you're there. You just can sort of set to work undisturbed. It's basically just to check to see if that people remembering you might have turned out badly for you. So far so good. Yeah. So when you guys this is not a problem. It just takes time, right? So it
Yeah.
probably take a couple of hours.
Mhm.
So
If other people want to do other things, and we'll
yeah,
just...
exactly. So
Yeah, that's fine.
let's move on to the things you can do in town, because that's quite a list. You can carouse, which basically means that you spend a boatload of coin, throw a big party, celebrate that you found the treasure, did something important, stuff like that. And then one of you rolls, so you spend 100 coin, and then you roll for a plus any additional 100 coin that you actually spent. And on the 10 plus, you get to choose 3 from the 4 options, and on the 7 to 9, you choose 1. And on the miss, you still choose 1, but something goes terribly wrong. Basically, you have a party, and then you get have a choice of befriending a useful NPC, hearing rumors of an opportunity, gaining useful information, and the final one is you are not entangled, ensorcelled, or tricked during that carousing. So that's one option, right? You can celebrate. You can also supply. So when you go to buy something with gold on hand, if it's something readily available, rations for instance, you can buy it at market price. If it's something special beyond what's usually available here or non-mundane, you need to roll plus your charisma. And on the successful one, you just find it at a fair price, and on the 7 to 9, you'll find something similar or have to pay more, stuff like that. And on the 6, it's just not available. You can recover, which means that you just spend a day doing absolutely nothing at all, regaining all your HP. After 3 days of rest, you recover one of your abilities. So, for instance, you don't have it anymore. We retconned that. But if Aldrich was still weak from not having eaten, then that would be one way of restoring that ability. You can recruit someone if you need help. And you can roll, and if you make it known that your pay is generous, you get a +1 on the roll. If you make known what you're setting out to do, you get another +1, etc. And there's a whole list of sort of people you can find. So if you need a thief, you can sort of recruit a thief. If you need a wizard, you can recruit a wizard. Stuff like that, right? So if you need an additional warrior or someone to help carry you loot or whatever, that's someone you can find. And those people are called hirelings. And there's a whole bunch of rules for creating hirelings that I'll handle that. But they have a sort of loyalty rating. So in game terms, is quite sort of important for you to know is that they can be loyal to you, and depending on how you treat them, they become more loyal or less loyal, and so they can either stab you in the back or do anything for you. Right. And then the other thing is the outstanding warrants that we already did. So we sort of determine if people remember you and if there's any warrants on your head or if there's something else is going on. And what you also can do is bolster, which means that you spend time for a week or two, and you take 1 preparation for every 2 weeks you spend. And basically you sort of prepare for your travels or whatever. And when your preparations pays off, you spend that 1 preparation you have for a +1 to any roll. So that basically you sort of prepare for your adventures, and that's what you can do in town. So yeah.
We need to contact the writers and add burying a sacred cellar to that list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Tweet that out to Adam Coble and see if he fixes it.
Yeah, there's a distinct lack of cellar burying rules.
Baldric, what do you want to do? So you can there's if you wanna stay with a person, then there's more than enough people, like women, offering their house to you.
Well, I'm
Otherwise,
thinking. I mean,
you have to visit an inn and stay there. Right.
I'm gonna tempt fate here. I'm gonna visit Audrey. Bam! Why not? The same thing that got me in trouble the first time.
All right. Okay. With the baby, right?
All right.
With the baby, obviously.
Okay. And
What
Kat,
could possibly go wrong?
Kat, what is it you want to do?
Would it be possible for me to, since I've never been in this town before, go find?
Oh, this little one? Oh, I found him by the side of the road. You want him? You want him? No, it's.
Yes, I would like to go find the Temple of Cthulhu.
Okay. I'm gonna have a very quick bio. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
All right. Now we have the shining eye of Hal staring us right in the face here.
The Temple of Cthulhu.
Okay. I'm going to have a very quick bio. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
All right. Now we have the shining eye of Hal staring us right in the face here.
So RoboJeXus again.
RoboJeXus again. I don't know what we're gonna do here really, because we have the kid. I mean, we need to find out about these ruffians, right? Mm-hmm. And we need to find some kind of resolution to Stormageddon.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you guys know in advance. The moment I'm done burying this cellar, my one and only prerogative is marching over to the Temple of Morn and beating the ever-loving hell out of the Archbishop or the priest or whatever it was their name.
Don't you mean Rom?
That's the Oh yeah. No, I mean the whoever the.
I can see why you were sent away from the temple. It's like, I'm gonna kill those Morn followers. We're the Morn followers.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Rom followers. Whatever.
I was probably drunk at the time. But yeah, no. I'm going to be heading over to the Temple of Rom, and whoever the Reverend / Bishop or whoever there is, at the very least, there should be a stern talking to.
A stern talking to.
And
I shall write a strongly worded letter.
I am British. This is what we do.
And admittedly, this is what the followers of Rom would really respect as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Exactly. So
Go
if I go
through
in there,
the proper channels.
if I start knocking things over, I'll be like, I'm breaking your rules, Rom.
No, you'd go in there and then you just grab a cup of tea and put it down on a table without a coaster.
Exactly.
With the rings!
But I mean, the thing is, actually what Vayne is saying in chat, that was kind of my plan. Just go there, see if I can convince the judge to take the baby in, because that's the best possible thing that could happen to this kid. And, a kid called Stormageddon, Dark Lord of All, leaving it in the care of some random person, it'll be fine.
Well, I'd probably be incredibly against this, considering that the judge is a follower of Rom.
I also have objections.
Yeah, I at the moment, anything Rom is the anti-Morn for me.
I'm immediately distrustful of anything.
Well, that's why I'm planning to just go off and do this without you people knowing.
Fair enough.
Just so we're clear, the treasure is still with me.
Yes, you have your treasure, Hazel.
Make
No, not his treasure. We're not calling it his treasure. No.
It's the treasure.
He is the custodian of the treasure at this time.
Fair enough.
Okay. Sorry about the interruption there. Let's see. So the treasure is with Hazel. Okay. So in these couple of hours, Cass wants to look for the Temple of Cthulhu, and I think you're setting out on your own, right?
Yes.
Sort of splitting up from Baldric as well.
No one has offered to come with me, so yes.
Okay. Then you easily find the Temple of Cthulhu. What does a Temple of Cthulhu look like? Generally.
Well, apparently it's in the basement. Because we're hipsters, apparently.
There's a Starbucks situated directly next door.
No, I'm sorry. We're on a corner that has 3 Starbucks. Thank you very much.
Does it have an Apple store as well?
Oh, that's what's above us. How did you know?
Just a guess.
Oh,
Educated guess.
yes, educated guess. The Temple of Cthulhu will be quite dark. Will be quite a few tentacle-looking objects everywhere.
Yeah.
And there will be several people kind of milling about, possibly sparring.
Right, yeah.
Just to let you know, your audio has improved to the point where you now sound exactly like a Cyberman.
Thank you so much.
We can still hear you though, so it's fine.
Okay,
so,
good.
yeah, so like somewhere like in a sort of like remote part of the town, right? It's still within the town walls. I imagine that there's just a very inconspicuous looking building, right? And maybe, yeah, there's some columns with some tentacle stuff, which would probably be the only indication.
Some tentacle stuff.
Yeah, sort of eldritch figures.
This is
Right?
becoming very tricky. So I think we need to move on a different direction.
There's a column emanating the slime of Cthulhu's spawn dripping onto the floor. No, just tentacle stuff. And
It's just a bookstore where if you leaf through the books and you rest your finger on one of them, it just goes, and he's like,
no,
That's odd.
I think we need to sort of step away from the idea of Cthulhu being, as we know him, the Lovecraftian god, and with all the weirdness and
I've stated previously, our Cthulhu in this universe is very kind of, death and destruction is okay, but I don't really require it.
Exactly. It's more also like a sort of accepted religion, right? So
kind of like Mormons.
sort of like more, yeah, okay, sure. It's the Book of Cthulhu.
Yeah. Nobody cares about them until one of them tries to be president.
Exactly.
Wow. But yeah, so it's sort of inconspicuous. Everyone knows it's a Temple of Cthulhu. Not a lot of people in this town really care, I think. But there's a couple of priests inside. As you say, they're probably sparring. It's a very sort of like a combative. You prove yourself to Cthulhu by means of personal victory and trial by combat. So it sort of makes sense that they practice their faith by battling each other and sort of training. Wow. There's let's say there's two of these war priests battling each other with training weapons.
Bad left?
And I'm ignoring you right now. And then, I think also the walls would sort of be lined with bookcases. I think that would make sense, sort of like a hidden knowledge thing as well. And I think there's the head priest is sitting at a desk reading.
Tell me it's actually a head in a jar.
No. He's reading through some scrolls.
What did you say?
The head priest is reading through some scrolls.
Okay.
So, what do you do then? The priests aren't really taking any notice of you.
I'm going to introduce myself to the head priest.
Okay. I think as you sort of scrape your throat, right, to try and draw his attention, he takes a couple of seconds. He just wants to finish what he's reading. He holds up his hands and goes, reading like this. He makes some sort of notes. And then, he looks up. He says, yes? Can I help you, daughter of Cthulhu? He saw your medallion hanging around your neck, right?
Clearly. I wear it proudly. Hello, good sir. I'm new to this town, and my first thought was to seek out the temple of my lord.
That's a wise choice. Any daughter of Cthulhu is welcome in any church of Cthulhu, as you well know. Welcome, sister.
Thank you, good sir. Might I rest here and take refreshment?
Certainly, yes. He sort of bangs his fist on the table, and one of the sparring priests they stop fighting and he walks over, and the head priest says, "Roderick, please show this sister to one of the rooms." And Roderick says, "You'll follow me, sister." And he leads you to it's sort of like a barracks type building, right? Next to imagine that you have this sort of temple building, and then at the back is another door, and it leads out to a sort of yard. And there's a couple of smaller buildings, and one of them is sort of like a barracks, and the barracks is sort of divided in small rooms. And he leads you to one of the rooms, and it's very like small and unadorned. The only thing is that the beds, sort of like the bed posts, are sort of like these tentacled, twisted things. So yeah, what do you want to do?
For his hospitality. Go in the room.
Your audio is cutting out. I'm sorry, I can't hear anything.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's better.
I go into the room and thank him for his hospitality and rest.
Okay. Yep. Absolutely. Good. Cut back to Baldric.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to find Audrey Thatcher.
Yeah, or at least go to the house there. Yeah.
Yeah, the house is just basically the like the residence of the judge, right? Of the magistrate, and it's like a walled-off house. So it's a house, and there's this wall and a gate before you can actually enter. What is the grounds? And there's a guard there, one of the city watch, and he says, "Halt, Baldric the Bard. What is your business here? You've been cast out of this town."
Okay. Yeah, I look him in the eye, very friendly. In fact, I should say charming and openly. And I ask him a question, speaking frankly with him. How can I get you to let me in?
He looks thoroughly confused. He's like, "What? I, huh? Just a second." And he opens the gate and he walks onto the ground. He closes the gate and locks it. And yeah, it takes a while, right? And you hear some discussing in the on the ground. He's like, yeah, he comes back and he says, "Come in."
Nice.
but
He does
before,
get to ask
yeah,
me a question.
Exactly. So before he lets you in, let's see where are you? Well, they may ask you. I don't think no, he's just confused. He doesn't understand what's going on. It's like, what do you mean? How can I just open the door? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he lets you in, and he says, "I take it you know the way." He says,
I know the way. I know the way.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
You've entered the grounds. It's sort of like a small-ish adorned garden. Like it's been kept, really well. It's very apparent that some money has been spent here to make it look good. And the house itself is like a typical like a governor's house, right? But not as big because it's a smallish town. But it's apparent that the magistrate has spent a lot of his income on looking good. Like both for himself as for the garden and the house. It's all about status, really. So yeah.
Okay. I assume there's like a servant's head of the household, like the head butler or something along those lines, probably like a chamberlain. That's a good word.
Yeah.
Do I know where to find him? Can I just walk up to somebody like that?
I think if you just walk inside, and someone will probably approach you.
Absolutely, that's what I do. Just baby in hand, walking inside as though I own the place. Just walk on in and go, hello, good morning. What is it? Morning, afternoon?
Yeah.
Good day, good sir.
Early afternoon. Yeah, and so the chamberlain walks up, and you remember that his name was Eric, and his Mr. Baldric. What on earth are you doing here?
Oh, yeah, you see, there's this thing that happened. when we got sent out to because of some misunderstanding somehow.
So we're banished, if I recall correctly.
Well, we're doing the paperwork on that one, still sorting that out. In any case, out in the fields, we met this interesting little gentleman that you sent along with us. He was a priest of Moor. Long story short, in any case, there's this baby now that we rescued daringly, courageously. I rescued from these people. Indeed so. Single-handedly managed to snatch it from the claws of demonic influences.
Oh, you are so lucky I'm not there.
And it's just, you know me, I am an irresponsible person. I cannot have this child, but we need to give this child the best support we can. So here you go. And I just sort of, as it just...
He sort of stands there with his hands behind his back, right? So like, sort of taking on what you're saying, and as you're holding out the baby, he says, so your first thought would be to come to the house of the person who cast you out of the town instead of going to the appropriate place, like an orphanage?
Well, you see, this is one of yours, one of your citizens, isn't it? One of the people here in the land. You are directly responsible for the poor damage caused to this poor creature by the zombie infestation that you let happen. This is socialism, socialism in action.
You, sir, are not making any sense. I'm very frightfully sorry, sir, but I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Look, buddy. Being all charming and open, how can I get you to take this baby?
And he looks you straight in the eye. He looks you straight in the eye and he says, "It is not going to happen, Baldric the Bard."
Okay.
And he asks you, "How can I get you to leave, sir?"
That could be very annoying right now. By first letting me talk to Audrey.
I think a parley would be in order here.
Absolutely, parley, good sir, parley. Where are we with
So
parley?
parley, for anyone who doesn't know, this is also the first time that we've used it. It says when you have leverage on a GM character and manipulate, roll plus charisma. Leverage is something they need or want. So in this case, they want Baldric out of here, right? And on a hit, they will ask you for something and do it. If you let's see,
Make them
on
a
a hit,
promise
they
first.
ask you for something and do it if you make them a promise first. On the 7 to 9, they need some concrete assurance of your promise right now. So basically, you're sort of bartering with someone. So go
Okay.
ahead.
So this is a roll plus charisma. So my charisma is +2. So we'll get those dice. Roll. Of course!
XP.
Yeah, mark XP, Baldric.
Yay! This game is
Rigged.
I'm sorry. This is just too good.
So evil.
luck.
I think, yeah, he just he looks you straight in the eye, right? And I think, imagine that this guy, have you seen Hell on Wheels? He's the Swedish / Norwegian villain in that one.
But
He
I
sort
am
of looks
Norwegian.
like really tall, dressed in black, and quite menacing if he wants to. And he looks you straight in the eye, and he sort of looks down on you. He's definitely taller than you are, and he says, "I am to take it. You want me to bring you to Miss Thatcher,
That was the general idea, yeah.
the poor girl that you have molested and influenced." And
Hold on.
It
It's
would
not
be
molestation
wise.
if she came on. She tackled me. She pushed me to the floor.
He makes himself tall. He says in a sort of official voice, Baldric the Bard, it would be wise for you to leave now and suffer the consequences.
I look around and go, do you know what? This is very inhospitable. I shall not take this kind of bullying. I will leave, good sir, of my own accord. And I turn around, I do one of those swishes on a heel, and I march out just flamboyantly.
Nice. Wow. Yeah, okay, so yeah, end scene, right? Let's switch back to Polonius and Hazel.
That could have gone better.
Yes. Did you mark XP for the failed roll, though?
That I did.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so it's us.
Yeah. I think you're sort of nearing the end of your work. You've managed to block off the entrance. It'd be very difficult for someone to enter it or open it back up. If obviously they can, but it takes time and effort.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as you can tell, there was no real need for them to enter the cellar. It was just a matter of getting rid of the chatting.
Okay, that's fine. So when we're, maybe we're one shovel full of dirt away from covering it or whatever, one brick away, I'll, maybe Hazel goes to fill it in and I'll sort of put a hand on him and say, wait just a second. And I'll reach down to my belt, and I'd imagine I'd probably have like a little flask, a little decanter full of like a spirit or something, like a sacred spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And I will, I'll hold it up, then I'll bring my talisman up, and I will cast Sanctify, which says food and water you hold in your hands is consecrated by your deity. In addition to now being holy or unholy, the affected substance is purified and is of any mundane spoilage.
Yeah.
But that's besides the point. I just want it to be holy.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Does holy in the Temple of Morn mean it's also slightly alcoholic?
Oh, it's incredibly alcoholic. It's probably just straight up vodka. That's a 10 plus 2. That is
Alright, yeah.
12.
No problem. Yeah, you cast it.
Cool.
So what does this look like?
So I bring, I have the decanter in one hand. Well, not a decanter. What would be the word? It's like a little, like a little travel flask.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Just,
regardless.
Flagon?
yeah, flagon.
Yeah. So I have that, and then I, bring out my talisman. I maybe sort of mutter a few things, and it begins to glow slightly. I bring it, I bring the two together, and this holy light envelops the flagon. At which point, I sort of, look stoic. I take a swig, savor it, swallow, and then pour one out for my homies.
Wow.
On the on the bit where the last bit of dirt or the last brick would go. I then sigh, sniffle, fill it in, Hazel.
Okay, Hazel is slightly miffed that he didn't get a drink, but he'll
Yeah.
fill the hole regardless.
Maybe I realise that and I go, forgive me, I'm overcome, and I hand you the sanctified spirit.
Okay, I'll take a swig
Mm-hmm.
for good measure.
So
Yeah.
I imagine that when you pour the rest of the drink on the cellar entrance, what you see is this sort of golden liquid flowing out of the flagon, and it's sort of right before it hits the ground, it sort of starts shaping a small sort of bubble over the entire entrance, right?
Okay.
As a sort of shield, and it stays there for about 2 seconds, and then the effect, the visual effect is gone, but you can sort of feel that the entrance has also been sanctified and protected.
Okay. Maybe I probably wasn't going for that, like myself, but maybe it's just Morn has made it be so, and I see that,
Yeah.
and maybe
You can
say-
feel
I-
you can feel sort of Morn's appreciation more for what you're trying to do.
Yeah, and at that point, you know, a single tear does fall down my cheek, and I, you know, I take the flagon back from Hazel once he's finished, and I, you know, cough a bit, you know, psych myself up. It's like, right, and I, you know, look to Hazel. Let's go burn down the Temple of Rom.
Whoa.
Jesus.
No, you know, maybe I chuckle for a bit. It's like, no, don't worry. But we shall see. We shall see what has gone on there.
So is that one of those? Let's go burn down Temple of Rum. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Oh, ha ha ha! No, I wasn't.
Yeah,
serious.
totally. It's like, oh yeah, I wasn't being serious. Yeah, but no, I would probably say let's go find the rest of them.
Hazel is hesitant. He has been run out of this town before. A experience that he does not particularly wish to repeat. So he's not going to start looking for trouble.
Okay. Do you say as such to me? Or?
Yes, I will. Yeah, Hazel says I am trying to steer clear of followers of Rom. They and me, we disagree on a few things.
These things basically being what belongs to them and what belongs to you.
basically.
It's a bit-
So I'm not going anywhere near any Temple of Rom.
Yeah, I'll probably look down at Hazel and I'll be like, I'll nod and I'll say, well, the debt that you were supposed to repay to the world has been satisfied. You're no longer bound to me. I have my path, you have yours. If this is where we part ways, Hazel, then I'll, you know, sort of put a hand out. I'll say, then good luck, my friend.
Okay, yeah, I'll shake your hand and sort of clasp your hand in mine, and I will say, surely we will meet again.
Thelonious, he has the treasure. Thelonious!
As,
Polonius doesn't care about the treasure at all. At this point.
Hazel, as you clasp his hand and say goodbye to Polonius, you notice at the corner of your eye that there are some people looking for you.
Looking at me or
For
looking
you.
for me?
Yeah, definitely looking for someone. And you've noticed that there's some people pointing at you, like sort of in the general direction, sort of pointing out where they think you've gone. And these people that are looking for you look considerably like city watchmen.
Ah. So we find ourselves here again. I'll try to hide. So I'll just quickly say goodbye to Polonius and say that I have pressing matters elsewhere.
Do I notice these people?
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that there's city
Yeah,
watch there.
Yeah, maybe as like, you know, Hazel suddenly tries to hurry the goodbye. I'm like,
Yeah.
huh? Oh.
Exactly.
Okay, so yeah. So one of the basic moves is interfere.
Mhm.
Like, would that be applicable here? Basically, if Hazel wants to, you know, make himself scarce, I want to do my best to make sure that he makes himself scarce. Like, I'll take their attention. I'll be like,
Then
good
that
men,
would be-
have you seen what's
yeah,
gone on here?
that'll be an aid. Interfering is something you do with one of the other player characters. So
Okay,
if you wanted to stop Hazel from from escaping, then you do an interfere.
Okay, no, that's not what I want to do.
You do an aid.
Okay, I'll do an aid then. So
Okay, so you roll your number of roll plus the number of bonds you have with Hazel.
number of bonds I have with Hazel, I think, is just the one. So it's 2d6 plus 1. 7 on the nose.
Okay, so we're gonna have Hazel do a roll soon. On the 79, Polonius, if Hazel fails his roll, you also expose yourself to danger, retribution, or cost.
Fair enough.
So Hazel has a +1 on his roll, and I think you are defying danger by getting out of the way. So it's a dex check. So it's
Okay.
a plus dex +1.
Okay, so my dex is +2, +1, so that's 12.
Okay. So
Nice.
yeah, what exactly do you want to achieve?
I want to move quietly around the town, evading the city watch, and I have some shopping to do, and I have the funds to do some shopping.
Okay, well, yeah, I imagine, Polonius, that you just sort of walk up to the city watch and maybe ask them questions about what happened here with the...
Maybe as they maybe spy what they think might be Hazel disappearing around the corner, and they're like, "Oh, what's that over there?" And I, step directly into their line, and I'm like, "It's like, good men, have you seen what's gone on here? This is an outrage!" Making as big of a fuss as I can, trying to be like, I'm going to take this straight to Thatcher, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, okay, so the...
Rabble-rousing.
Yeah, exactly. I think, Hazel, you escape no problem whatsoever. The City Watch, however, Polonius, they look at you and they have this big grin on their face and say, "Polonius, is that you? What are you doing back here? I thought you were out helping the helpless, and we were so happy. I mean, we were so sorry to see you leave, though, Polonius. It's good to see you come back, and it's a terrible shame what happened to your
A terrible shame! A terrible shame! This is an outrage! Have you seen those? And I'm pointing at the stakes driven in the front with the symbol of Rom. It's like, this is a clear and blatant attack on my faith. I shall take this straight to Thatcher. You lead me straight to Thatcher.
Are you implying, Mr. Polonius, that the Chapel of Rome has done something illegal, and their demeanor changes?
Let's see. You know what? No. Okay. At this point, Polonius, most of the things that Polonius holds dear in this world has basically just gone. So he probably thinks to himself, "I want to see where this goes." And he goes, "Yes, of course I do. Why, if I was of half a mind of them, I would have walked over there and given them a piece of my mind. But no, I shall go through the proper channels. I shall have I shall go to Thatcher immediately. Take me to her."
Him.
Sorry, whenever I'm British, there's an assumption there.
I just love the idea that you actually literally said, "Take me to her," that all the guys just go, "Him. This is why we sent you away."
Vanen has a good question, by the way, William. Were there any comrades of you in that chapel, or do you care only about the building?
Do I get to decide if there were people there or not?
Well, I imagine that the reason that you were sent away is that you were sort of a bad influence in the eyes of the magistrate, right?
Okay.
And that would sort of mean that there's only one priest of
I was
in the village.
Yeah. If I'm gonna go with the full sort of Friar Tuck kind of thing, it would be like, I'm on my own. Maybe it was a chapel that's been there since the days of this miracle. Maybe it was a bit run down, and I turned up one day many years ago and did the place up and got the word of morn, out there again. And,
Exactly.
yeah, I'd probably say I was the only one.
Yeah. Okay. The guards or the watchmen, they look at each other and they smirk, and they say, "Well, Polonius, come with us. We'll take you to Thatcher."
Uh-oh.
It's like, lead on.
So that's another character down?
I think I think this would be a good place to leave it, though. We'll end on that sort of cliffhanger thing. Hazel out in the woods. Polonius probably getting himself into trouble. Baldric carrying around a child that he needs to get rid of. Cass taking a well-deserved rest.
I mean, I have been doing all of the fighting, so yes.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, this has been good. We'll continue from here next time. But before we leave, we do the end of session rewards. Start with Baldric the Bard. Choose one of your bonds that you feel is resolved.
Okay.
If you have them.
Let me see. There is Polonius off in the butt of my jokes. Didn't really come up. Running a ballad about the adventures of Hazel. So far, there haven't been that many good adventures that we can write up. Maybe if he indeed escapes with all the treasure. And there was When We're in Trouble, Cass will murder our way out of it, which has been true so far. So I don't think any of them have been resolved.
Okay. Then we skip that and we go to Hazel and ask the same question.
Yeah, so one of my bonds is Polonius knows incriminating details about me. Not really resolved. The second one
Is it
is...
still relevant?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I did say that, you know, this quote-unquote death
Yes.
of morals was, you know, he was absolved in my eyes. If I was the one who was tasked with seeing them do right, then, yeah, maybe.
Well, that might be a candidate. It depends if there's other bonds that might be more applicable than
The second one is that I want to see Stormageddon taken off our hands and properly taken care of. Obviously not resolved, because let's face it, Baldric carrying him around is not having him properly taken care of.
I resent that remark. That kid is as safe as can be.
Right, and moving on. The third bond I had was with Polonius, that I wanted to see more of his rituals. I think that one has been resolved because I was.
Yeah. You were a witness and partook in the sanctification of the chapel. Yeah, and as far as I'm concerned, you can mark that one off as XP.
Okay.
Cass,
Yes.
do you have a bond that you feel is no longer relevant?
I don't think that I actually have anything that has been resolved. Yeah, it's chapter 3, and it's the Polonius has stood with me in battle. I respect the beliefs of Polonius, and Hazel was a brave soul, and I have much to learn from him.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I think next time there'd be some candidates for resolving. This week, I don't think so. William.
Yeah. My two concerning Baldric probably are not. One being he insulted my deity, I don't trust him. The other one, I'm converting Baldric to my faith.
Oh, that's not going to work.
Exactly. There's probably going to come a point where I'll be like, nope, this isn't going to happen, and I'll just, you know, that'll be resolved that way. But there is one with Hazel, which is Hazel is a good and faithful person. I trust them implicitly. I'd probably say that I know what kind of person Hazel is. But that doesn't necessarily, just because, you know, he is a thief by trade, doesn't necessarily mean he's not trustworthy. And the fact that he stood around and he was the only one that helped me, you know, seal off the cellar, make sure everything was said and done. I think you know, there's probably a bond there that's, especially on Polonius's part, that has been formed.
Yeah, so do you want to keep that bond in place, or do you want to resolve it?
Well, I would probably say it's resolved, because I do trust him. I trust him implicitly, probably.
Is it likely to change in the near future?
Again, considering that I know what kind of person Hazel is, unless Hazel's character changes incredibly drastically, I don't really think so.
Okay.
You know, it's like a, you know, live and let live kind of thing, but because he helped me out, you know, he's a good guy in my books.
Okay.
I hate that my audio had cut out because I had said that I had gone into the cellar to try to help search the robot.
Oh, did you?
Oh, really?
Right, that was cut out. I don't think anyone noticed.
Sorry, apologies.
Oh, it's okay, my audio cut out.
Well,
but
and yeah.
I don't think it influences the bonds in any way.
Yeah.
But it would influence writing any new bonds.
Hmm.
So keep it in mind. If you've got a bond that's been resolved, then keep that scene in mind as well, because that might give you ideas for a new one. But
Okay.
yeah, William, you can mark that one off as XP. I agree.
Awesome.
I mean, you could keep it in place as a sort of a mechanic where you can help each other, because if you don't have bonds with each other, you also can't aid or interfere.
Hmm.
And then sort of keep it there until there's a situation where you suddenly don't trust him anymore or something's changed. So that's possible. But yeah, if you say, well, no, this is just Polonius really feels that this is the way it is and
Yeah.
it's not
No.
going to change. Then,
When I put the bonds, I had the idea that I was going to go until Hazel did something which earned my trust, and he has just now. So
yeah, okay, no, yeah, mark it off. Fine.
yeah, done it.
And then yeah, so write a new bond whenever you feel like it, but before the next session.
Yeah.
And you're free to write a bond with whomever you or whatever you wish.
Hmm.
So as a group, we answer 3 questions. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Alignment first.
Oh yes, alignment. Apologies, Baronic, your alignment.
Yeah, my alignment is neutral, which means I need to avoid conflict or diffuse a tense situation. I don't think I've done either, really, because in the actual battle, I stabbed somebody, and later on, I tried to look for confrontation because I went directly to the house and tried and hand it in. So
Yeah.
I don't think I did that.
No, I agree. Hazel.
Yeah, my alignment is neutral. Avoid detection or infiltrate a location.
He avoided detection, I think.
Yeah. It's a difficult thing, because at the same time you tried avoiding detection with your scouting abilities, and that sort of failed. But then you did do it, right? So and then now in town you definitely managed to slip away from the city watch. So yeah, you can mark XP for that one. Cass, what's your alignment?
I am good, and I endanger myself to protect someone weaker than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I get the feeling that's going to happen. Good alignment.
It's the best alignment for gaining XP.
I am, to pick the tank role, pick the tank alignment.
Okay, so yeah, mark XP for that one. And William.
Lawful, endanger yourself following the precepts of your church or god. I could make an argument saying that, my outrage of what's become of the Temple of Mourners, maybe. I mean, I don't know it's any danger yet, but I mean, you were trying. It's fairly obvious that something is going to go down, and it's probably not good. But
I think by coming back to the town and seeing that chapel utterly destroyed, obviously with the help of people in the town, right? And you just sort of defiantly going into the chapel and fixing things, basically.
Yeah.
I think you'd endanger. Yeah, you're endangering yourself in that respect. But then also in combat, while you were sort of still hungover, you charged forward and despite danger, tried to heal and help. So. I think so. Yes, I mean the precept of monastoic is offering, but I think you can see that sort of like as a broad concept.
Yeah, I mean I also did make an offering to him with the sanctification of the chapel. So.
And also, I mean, in a sort of weird way, you offered even your body to Morn while you were communing with him mid battle.
It's true. It's true.
So yeah, mark XP for that one.
Cool.
So once we've done that, then we answer the 3 questions. So did we learn something new and important about the world?
I'd say so.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
I mean, considering that this atrocity committed to the followers of Morn has never before been seen, I'd imagine that's pretty.
Absolutely. Also, we spent.
I would argue that Morn is not relevant for the world, but.
Oh, but also considering that we spent the first half an hour to 45 minutes discussing the world and determining things. Yes, definitely. So that's 1 XP for everyone. Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy? Once again, no.
Nope.
No.
And loot a memorable treasure. I don't think. This one is a
not
sort
really.
of a difficult thing where I'm not sure if the missive that you found is a memorable treasure, but it's
It doesn't sound
like
like
an
it.
important clue to what's going on in the world, and maybe that sort of falls under learning something new and important about the world.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah, because the memorable treasure is more like the mysterious amulet that we found.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah, we
the
already got
skull of a long-lost civilization or who knows what.
I could make a case that Hazel has been looting a treasure from the rest of the party.
Nope.
And
Not
could
yet.
I maybe make a loose case saying that because I, made sure to try and recover, or at least make sure that the sacred barrel was safe. Couldn't that maybe? I didn't loot it, but I made sure it was safe, and then decided to do something with it.
So then
Maybe.
let's agree on this then. If we decide that that's a memorable treasure and I grant you XP for it, then that does mean that this item will become a sort of more prominent item in the world, right? So it's free for me as to do with what I please.
Sure. I mean, I imagine considering that it was a relic
Okay.
associated with a miracle of a god. It's
Wait,
Having
hold on,
somebody
hold on.
who's exploited things in D&D before, a never-ending source of alcohol will mean that somebody will upturn it, and this is Waterworld. Or Vodka World, I suppose.
It doesn't flow anymore. It was just, one barrel that was tapped, and it just kept flowing for 7 days and nights.
No, but if you want the barrel to be kept safe, don't take XP for it right now. Because somebody will go mess with it if you take XP now.
Yeah, but that's kind of metagaming, though, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
I
just have to make sure.
The entire thing is metagaming. That's the point of this.
Yeah.
It's metagaming. So it's up to you guys. If you want XP, then yes, and that means that the barrel, the sacred barrel, is fair game.
If we say yes, I demand we store crackers in it.
Does anybody like? Tell you what, could we come back to this one after we've done the rest of them to see whether or not, or does it have to be done in? Is this the last one?
We're going to do it, and we're going to decide it now.
Oh, okay. Does anybody need like 1 more XP to level up?
Nope.
Let's see, because we needed your level plus 7 to level up, right, in XP.
Yeah.
So right now I have 6, so I'm not near leveling up.
I have 6 as well.
But you need... Oh no, wait, you need 8, yeah.
This goes against absolutely every fibre of my own DM being, but I will metagame this one and say, okay, I won't take XP for it.
There's no metagaming in this. It's the point that you're doing.
It feels like it is to me.
All right. So yeah, that's the end of this session. No one has enough XP, but just for completion's sake, you level up if you have 7 plus your current level in XP, and then you deduct that from your current XP, and you add onto your attributes and pick a new special move from the character sheet. So next session you will all more than likely level up.
Probably, yeah.
So what remains for me is to say that people who have completed bonds, write a new one, and make sure that it's something that is sort of achievable in the game world, in the game world, and link it to either someone you know or a place that you know of or something like that. And then we can discuss them next time, and maybe hopefully incorporate it in the gameplay session. Yeah, that's it for me. Thank you all for playing. I loved it. It was great.
Okay. Thanks for running.
You're welcome.
Yeah, lots of fun. And again, apologies for me not being here directly from the beginning, but things happen.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, we've had to deal with well, I mean, you were here later. We had audio issues. We had people cutting out. We had everything go wrong. So it's good at least that we managed to do this one.
Cool.
Thanks everyone for joining in. I think we'll do the usual, as in we're contacting Twitter to see when we can do this again. Provisionally, maybe next week Sunday, but we'll have to see definitively.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you all for joining in. Thank you everyone for watching and giving JeXus horrible suggestions in chat that we absolutely don't enjoy, but normal day, Obi-Wan. Normal day. Hey, thanks everyone, and I hope to see you in the next week.
Bye.
This campaign will be DS9, so help me.